Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing? I hope you are okay. Just fine tune this down. And my webcam's interesting. We'll just go with it. There we go. Quick fix. It wouldn't be Chronicles of Azoria without some technical difficulties. I think it's because Bloodbuffy's got a camera off. It's all fine. It's all good. I'll fix it later. Fix it in post. First of all, welcome. It's episode 8, Chronicles of Azoria. Just like usual, just a few quick shout-outs. Firstly, make sure you're following our Twitter at Azorianpost for all the updates. Find out where episodes are, when we're going live, and funny highlights and stuff like that. It's great. Also, if you're not able to watch live all the time, all our episodes are available on VOD, the day of airing, the day after airing, and are accessible both on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you leave a comment and let us know that you're enjoying the show. Special thanks to Antti, Martikainen, and Michael Ghelfi for providing their music for Twitch streamers. Make sure you go check out their stuff. Links are in the chat. And again, thank you for Tibex, who's posting all the links, doing general moderation, and doing all the sounds and stuff like that as well. So we can focus on the game and the roleplay. We won't be reading chat throughout the cast. However, we might do a little kind of after show thing once the episode is finished. We'll see. So, without further ado, let's just jump into it and give you a quick recap on what happened in episode 7. So, the group ventured into a bottomless cavern on an assignment from Kibo, the leader of the Claw. The cavern was deep underground of the town of Stalwart, and with local companion Edra within the group, they hoped to uncover what the military has been poking at. They delved in deep to investigate a pyramid-like structure that laid within the middle of the chasm. Tied by rope, the group made their way one by one to a stone bridge. However, they were not quiet enough. The walls of the cavern started to move in the darkness as hordes of creatures rushed and moved upon them in hopes of getting an easy meal. Aquis nearly fell, however, the rope saved him, and the group pulling him up. They were chased across the stone bridge and was greeted by a large stone door that had very intricate carvings of the end of a battle, and two figures that were being worshipped by all these winged beasts with a giant skull in the middle. Velia, studying the door quickly with Rune and Edra, reached into this giant skull and found a lever that opened it. The group made their way inside just in time as the horde of creatures washed upon the outside of the door. Inside the temple, the interior was lightless apart from 4 dim candles that were not bright enough to light up the entire room. Once the group ventured forth, they found countless skeletons, all undisturbed in various prayer-like positions, and a giant altar made of skulls that led further in. They discovered rings with insignias, some with a hand symbol, some with skulls. They also found a magical bag containing small green beads that had pipes overhead funneling into it. In another room, they found a great golden sword hill and a ring, and then a chained-up cage that held a skull-adorned jar. Lastly, they found 2 metal orbs. The group also worked out if they turned the gargoyle statues into a certain position and to face the altar, it unlocked the doors to above. The group ascended. They saw metal pipes weaving in and out of each other. The entire ceiling of this second floor was just covered by metal pipes. They placed these 2 orbs in this funnel-like apparatus, and the stairs to the 3rd floor dropped, but also so did 2 huge cubes of acidic jelly. After a rough battle and Aquis becoming featherless, the group pulled through and ascended the last staircase to reveal a giant statue floating in front of it. A pale green crystal that when looked into, you swear you can see bright star-like shines. Velia approached the magic aura, and the crystal slowly descended to her level as she touched it. the ground begun to shake. And that's where we'll pick up today. Blood Buffy, are you there? Can you turn your camera on? Otherwise, everything's going to look messed up.
Yep.
Amazing.
I'm here.
Oh,
Camera's on.
So good.
Wait, my camera is on. What the hell?
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Everyone, once in a while in their lifetime, has to dive into the pudding.
I'm going to fix this
the only
quickly.
cool thing to do.
Apollos, if you click out of the channel and then back into Discord, it'll fix it.
I'm trying that. It might be because I messed up the DM cam. Is that why? No. It was working before. I tested it. What's going on?
Oh, no.
Is it because Tibby left the channel? Tibby, can you rejoin the channel quickly? It might be.
Yep. It's difficult.
I think it's because Tibby left the channel too.
Oh, Tibby.
Yeah, it was. Tibby, I'm so sorry. Can you just stay in the channel lurking? I'm sorry. Maybe on a phone or something. Then you can join Discord elsewhere. I don't know. Anyway, without further ado, let's put on some battle music as the temple is crumbling around you, and Velia is just in this trance-like motion. So, what are you doing? What are you doing, everyone?
Is she holding the?
She is with both hands now.
gemstone?
Yeah, the gem is like half her size, and she's just. It seems to have its own gravity around it, and she's just holding it and just staring into it, like not giving any sort of movement or anything. She's just enthralled with this.
We grab her. Who's strong enough to carry?
Yeah. Who's?
I mean, I want to try and knock the crystal out of her hand. The only logical thing you would try and do, right? If she's sitting there entranced by this crystal and it's time to go.
Are you?
Could take her
Yeah,
and
roll.
the crystal.
Roll me an attack, an unarmed strike. Just to see. Quite a rushed action. It's low DC. Nothing's moving.
17.
17. Yeah, you hit the crystal, and suddenly you're frozen in place slightly too. But you get the crystal away from her, and Velia snaps out of it just for a second, and she's like gasping, like she's out of breath, like she's just ran a marathon. But now Aquis is kind of there as well, and we'll come back to you. You're kind of just pulled out of your consciousness for a second. Actually, make me a wisdom saving throw as well, please.
This can only end great.
However, Velia looks up at the crystal, moves it away from Aquis, and she's not affected by it anymore. Like, she's touched it once, and it seems to be fine.
15.
15. I'll write that down, and I'll come back to you. Everyone else, what are you doing?
This is what we came for you for, right? Put it in the bag. Let's get out of here.
Good shout.
Is the exit still open, or is it crumbled already?
As you turn behind you and see the stairs descending down to where the acid jellies were, you see that big boulders have now like crushed off the stairs. It looks traversable, but it's very dangerous. You turn back to warn the group, and you see the giant 30-foot, 40-foot statue just break in half, and it just slowly moves as everything around you like basically goes into slow motion. You're just like, oh crap, and it smashes against the back wall of the temple, and it reveals an open passageway of shadow. You don't know where it leads, but you seem to have two routes: into the unknown darkness or back the way you came.
Oh god. The
There's
DM
only
knows
one
where
direction.
it is.
I mean, back when we came, there's all those monsters, so,
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even know how we would get out of that door, if it locked behind us or what. The main entrance. So this might be our best bet.
Yeah. Let's go.
Sorry, just to clarify,
As rocks are falling around
is in a bag at the moment.
No, she's pushing it, and it kind of like glides with her. Like, it seems to have its own mass, its own gravity, and she's just like pushing it in front of her, and Velia's like waiting for direction, and as you say, let's move to the back exit, she starts heading in that direction.
Do I have a bag?
Well, will it fit in the bag of holding, Velia?
Too big.
I'll try. And she starts like struggling to get it over, and it's, imagine like something that's buoyant in water resisting being like pushed down, and you can see she's kind of like struggling to get it on. Does anyone want to help her?
Yeah. Sure. I'll help her.
Roll me a strength check. Aquis is still kind of frozen,
14.
just briefly. 14? What did you get?
14 for me.
Karaya?
6.
You grab it! Rune jumps up because it's kind of taller than him and he starts yanking on the side. This bag is quite small. It's only a small little bag of holding that you found previously. But it does seem to stretch over the sides of the crystal. The crystal's not wide. It's quite skinny. And it disappears into the darkness of the bag of holding. It was a tight squeeze, but you just got it in there.
Nice.
Excellent. Let's go.
Does Akis snap out of it at this point?
Akis, I would say it's about 10 seconds after that point. So yeah, Akis, you're back into it, and we'll come back to you what happened during your moment of lapse. But you are out of breath, you are flustered, you are kind of panicked, like scared in a sense.
I don't necessarily register, that he's back yet. I'll just grab him under the arm and say, we gotta go.
Okay, and you all venture into the darkness as now these big parts of the pyramid are just falling behind you and burying your escape. And you go and you open up, and it's kind of like a windy tunnel where this open up into a natural cavern-like tunnel. It's no longer crafted or built. It's seemingly the same as the quarry, like stone, and it just winds further into darkness. You hear like ground rumbling, like not just the pyramid now, but the entire chasm that you've just left behind, and you're like full sprint running. And sorry, not the crystal's light because you put that in the bag, but you've got dark vision so you can see ahead of you, and it's just the same tunnel. But the entire floor is still rumbling around. Everyone roll me a dexterity saving throw, because even bits of stalactites are coming down in this dungeon bit too.
11.
You hate these dexterity checks.
I'm meant to be good at them, that's the problem.
That's the problem. Those are the worst. 20.
20.
You hypocrite.
I'll roll with Velia.
Yeah, it's like me trying to kill someone with like a flail swoop.
What did you get, Rune?
13.
13. Bromir, you quickly have to try and dodge out of the way as a bit of rock falls down and just smashes on the side of your shoulder, causing you to stumble there. Take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. I rolled really low.
Also, names aren't showing up on your overlay.
Oh, it's a temporary thing. Tibby can control that. There you go.
No.
Fade in and out. All right, Megna, I'll put the fancy graphics up, okay?
We the community demand fancy graphics, please.
Fancy graphics.
Yeah.
So,
I'm worried about a repeat of what happened on the cliffside, so I'm going to just spam out west to everyone.
well, now you're not in the cliffside anymore. You're in this like dark tunnel.
Yeah.
And it just stretches on and on. And you've been running now full sprint for about 10 minutes. And the rumbling's still happening. This is like earthquake level rumbling now. There's still like dust from away, but the more you run away, the more it's kind of fading into the distance. So,
can I do some sort of investigation on the rock around me to get maybe sort of an insight as to how far down we are, or are we going down further?
roll me an investigation check. It would be investigation at a disadvantage or a survival check. Because it's more survival, trying to gain your awareness.
Sorry, survival at disadvantage?
No, investigation at disadvantage or a survival check just straight. Just normal.
Straight survival, I guess. 20, nat 20.
Nice. Yeah,
yeah.
you. As this has all been happening, you've been paying attention to the bumps in the ground if you've been descending or rising up, and that's why you got hit by the rock. You were just so focused on trying to map where you were going, what you were doing, if you were descending or ascending. You reckon you've covered a lot of distance away from the temple at this point. You have honestly no idea like where this could lead out to. You just know that you have been going in a direction directly away from the temple, and you've been slowly rising. So you have been going upwards rather than downwards currently. And you've been running for about 10 minutes before you're all kind of taking a breather, even though the ground is still kind of quaking from the distance where you've met. There's no immediate threat anymore, so we'll just slow down the battle music as it kind of fades into this dark, cavernous quietness, and just as the ground's rumbling behind you, and you've kind of gain in a second to catch your breaths. And
Okay, I gotta pass this information on to the group, just so everyone's on the same page.
speaking of which, Aquis, you're still shaken. So let me just set the scene here. I'll do this bit, Tibby, if you're listening. Back in your frozen state, back when you touched the crystal trying to save one of your friends, you were pulled out of your own consciousness. You felt like someone was rolling you out. You felt sick, dizzy, not too sure what was going on. You didn't even know if you were on this plane of existence anymore. It was jarring of all aspects. And then suddenly you're pulled into a black void where you're gasping for breath. It's just complete blackness around you. What do you do?
Scream out?
You just scream
Hello?
out. Your voice just goes nowhere. It's like you're screaming underwater into a pitch black void. But you do see some sort of yellow glow. Probably 200, maybe 500 feet away from you. Very distant. It's the only thing that's giving off any form of light around you.
Oh, I guess I died.
Well, good
I'm
game,
just gonna
guys.
walk towards the little bit of light that I can see, I guess.
As you start walking through this black space, it's kind of like every footstep you plant ripples out like water. It's strange, alien. You're not too sure, but as you approach this light, you hear a voice from the deep. Hunger. You walk
I
closer.
don't know what to say to that.
As you gain the distance, you see, not like very similar to the crystal you touched, although different in its appearance and size, a yellow crystal swirling in this black void, oscillating just in its own space with its own gravity, seemed to be in a break from the darkness. Maybe not a break, maybe a bridge to it. You see kind of the darkness folding into it, and then yellow light coming out the other side. Feed. This voice bellows out from the deep darkness once more. What do you do?
Is this the thing that saved me before? Do you even talk? I guess it doesn't talk.
Doesn't necessarily respond to you directly. You still walking towards the crystal?
Still walking towards it.
As you're getting closer, it's probably 30 feet away from you now. And behind the crystal, you see kind of 4 red eyes on either side, 2 on either side, just glowing. Like they're peering around the crystal at you. Eyes like red, deep crimson, bright, creating their own kind of light in this space. You see darkness that's flowing now into the crystal. The darkness is kind of coming from it. And the crystal's kind of like moving with it in a weird way. Power. What do you do?
How far away from this crystal thing am I? And the eyes?
The eyes are probably like 5 foot behind the crystal. You glean, but you can't see any sort of body or shape. And you're about 25 feet away.
Can I have no idea if this is gonna work. Can I try and disguise myself to look like one of the other members of the group? Just to see if it works?
You weave your hand like you've done before to cast your magic, and nothing works in this space. You seem to have nothing. Your rapier's by your side.
I'm just gonna pull it out, just in case, and just keep walking towards the crystal.
As you get closer. Consume. The crystal's right in front of you now. And these eyes have now like pulled around you and then like on either side of you with the crystal in front of you. But they're like far away. It's really weird. It's hard to judge space.
Can I just clink the crystal with a rapier and see if anything happens?
As you touch the crystal with the tip of your rapier, the light and the darkness envelop you both like half and half, and that's when you awake back into the collapsing temple. And obviously Bromir grabs you and you're like, and you're just out of breath, and that's when the entire escape happened. So now we'll go back into the temple. Sorry, not the temple. the cabin.
No, just out of the temple.
The cabin. Timmy, if you can change the
Also,
music.
sort of out of character, but
Sure.
we had this conversation while you had us muted. Since you were NPCing for Buffy previous week, and your only instruction was to loot everything, we feel that Buffy would have looted the jellies,
Okay.
Yeah.
and that's on you. So
That's on me. Okay. I'll take ownership. You take 8 points of acid damage from digging through acid to loot the jellies, Karaya, but I will come back to what you have found in a moment when I pull up my notes from last week.
Wonderful.
Give me a second.
Wonderful.
it's still
Better be worth
believable.
it. Better
and
be worth it.
you have no gloves anymore. The acid's kind of rotted through your gloves too.
Okay, I'll get new ones.
So you found. I'll let it happen. You found.
Some black feathers.
Some black feathers, among other things.
You did find some black feathers that have now just kind of molded or eroded away. You found a pair of goggles that seem to be pristine. You also found a scroll that seems to be rolled up, and that also seems to be pristine. You also find this kind of hilt of a sword. Feels like some sort of short or long sword. Doesn't have any blade. It's just a hilt. And it's got an adorned dragon-like symbol. There is a little bit of a blade there, but it looks like it broken off a long time ago. So it's a broken dragon hilt. That also,
Does
the hilt
anyone-
seems to be pristine.
Do I recognize the insignia on this hilt?
You can roll a knowledge history. It'd be very hard, though. Very high DC. Just gotta change the music. Sorry, Debbie. I got you.
8. Does anybody else know it?
You have no idea.
Anyone with history knowledge? Nah? Okay. Alright, well, I'll keep that.
Yeah, I say toss in your bag and we'll investigate when we get back to civilization of some sort.
Cool. What kind of scroll is it?
Do you open it up?
Sure. Nothing bad can come of reading, right?
Yeah, roll me a roll me a dexterity saving throw. No, I'm joking. It's some sort of magical spell. If Velia looks over, is like, "Oh, I might be interested in that. I'll maybe be able to learn what it is."
Shoves it to Velia.
I'll make a note. Velia scroll. It's a scroll spell of Melf's minute meteors.
Ooh.
Sounds fun.
Sparkly.
Yeah.
So we'll see
So
what
we'll
she
see.
does with that, because wizards can scribe scrolls into the books and all fun stuff with gold and stuff like that. And she can learn it.
From
So
the goggles, anything useful from the goggles?
just looks like to yourself, plain goggles. They do have kind of like a runic inscription on them, right on the corner as you inspect them, but you have no idea what they would do seamlessly for now. Velia's like, I can cast a spell which will let me know what that does, but let's get out of here first.
Okay. Hex loot, alright.
All right, so who's helming the traversing through these cavernous tunnels?
I am still stuck in a daze,
Not him.
processing whatever the hell that was.
Rune, I think you and I should take the lead here. I mean, we're no
Okay.
strangers to caverns, so
Agreed.
All right,
So, forward.
can I get a survival check
you.
from both of you, or one of you can roll with advantage?
Sure.
7.
Survival 16.
16, nice. Yeah, together the two dwarves take the lead throughout this cavernous network. Bromir, you're still a little bit fixated looking back at Aquis, and he looks visibly shaken and not like his usual self at all. And featherless, yeah, he just looks a mess. So Rune, you're taking a little bit of the lead, and Bromir's helping you here, but these tunnels are windy, and it's not long before you come to your first kind of junction, which splits off into 3 different cavernless, whereas the one on the left goes down a little bit, the one straight ahead of you goes up a little bit and seems to cut a little bit left, and the one on the right just seems to go further right. It's up to you which way you go.
Well,
It's I would say probably like 20-30 minutes has passed at this point, and you just now the rumblings of the stone is finally just slowing down, and rocks are finding their natural place. But this trigger, whatever you guys did, seemed to last for about 20-30 minutes of a long earthquake. It was on a huge scale, a large scale.
I hope the village is alright.
yeah, I mean,
Edra's like, what if my house is my dogs? And she just like, which way are we going? Where are we going? We need to get out of here.
Yeah, we should probably get out of here. Where are we?
Yeah.
War is here.
There are 3 passages that we can go to. You said one goes up, one goes down, and what was the third?
These
straight
are-
ahead.
Yeah, left, right, and center.
So
Dead center.
I mean, what's our goal here? We're trying to get back to the surface?
Yeah, trying to get to
Ideally.
the surface and to safety. Yeah.
Edra
I
speaks
mean,
of
if we
whatever you guys took, it definitely collapsed that cavern behind us, which was huge. I need to get back to my house, and yeah, the only way is to try and find surface, unless
yeah, presumably whatever was the top on top there is now inside the cavern. So
hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Is there anything carved into the walls or around the cavern here?
Roll me a
Can I
perception check.
just search?
Yeah,
Okay. Can I guidance myself on this?
you can. Yeah.
Perception. Oh, well, that's a natural 20. +2, plus whatever.
You're looking around.
26.
Yeah. You're looking around, and you do see that this natural cavern is pretty much, for the most part, undisturbed. But you do see, because you rolled so high, you do see that there is boot prints, like plate boots, leather boots. You're not too sure, but someone treaded here maybe a month ago. It's hard to judge time, and it leads off to the right.
That's good tracking.
So, tracks go to the right, so yeah, I'll lead the party to the right.
right.
Rin, can you tell which direction they were walking? Like, were they coming from that direction or going in that direction?
Can I tell that?
Yeah, they was leaving. They was leaving the temple. Yeah.
Okay.
You because you rolled so high, you piece it in your mind together that the statue fell in a lucky way that revealed a hidden door of sorts. So something came out of that temple a month or so ago, and is now traversing the same path you are. Some humanoid. Anyway, boot prints.
Really? Yeah. I was gonna say we haven't found any of the soldiers that were sent up here, other than what was on the surface.
Yeah, you only know the soldiers uncovered the entrance via the quarry. You don't think they had enough time to delve in.
Yeah, we'd have.
We're underground, Tibby. It's all good. I got you.
Yeah, I don't know who it might have been. Soldiers would be my best guess, but nothing seemed disturbed from when we entered. The doors were shut.
It's just one
Statues
set
were
as well.
in the right direction.
Single entity.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it was two people. And you see now in the distance that you see another set of boot prints that couldn't be the same person, unless they just like did a weird little jump to the side. So you think it's been a long time, like you're just seeing these ever so faintly. There's probably two people that are both walking in tandem away.
Okay.
Damn, that roll, that was good.
Her too. Yeah. Well, let's get moving.
All right,
I'll lead the way.
we go.
Yeah, and with that, I would say you naturally take these caverns, and at each junction you spend about 10-15 minutes looking to see any disturbed boot prints, and you manage to find, luckily I'm not going to let you roll again because you blasted it, about an hour and a half you find there's a light, and you hear rain. You hear rain washing up on the side of the outside of the mountain where you're emerging.
Ah, fresh air. Finally.
Finally, out of the mountain.
The dogs barking run off ahead to, again, eager to get out of the darkness themselves from Edra. And you emerge into light that blinds you temporarily for a second, since you've been underground now for a day and a half. The sun's just setting. It's raining, and you see now that this entrance has been opened up, and it was like, imagine the moon door from Lord of the Rings, from the Fellowship with the Watcher outside. It's like a stone door that's been pushed open, It was long overgrown from the mountainous shrubbery, and whatever came before you had pushed this open and left it open. It's undiscovered, and you're the first people here. And you're kind of surrounded by mountains in areas. You look kind of back over the peak of the mountain that you emerged from, and you just see a massive dust cloud that's still just in the air. You assume that's probably the direction of the quarry.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Crystal
Whoopsie
discuss.
daisy.
Crystal discuss soon.
What happened there? Are you okay?
No.
Okay.
We can walk and talk. Or we can set up camp, rest.
Yeah, it's
and
getting
talk.
late. I think we should take a rest, but we should get some food.
It's
try
been a
and
long
recover
day.
Some of our wounds, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm obviously Edra at the moment, and Velia. Yeah. Edra's like, it's been a long day. Let's use this entrance as some sort of shelter, and hopefully my house is there in the morning. Velia, at this point as well, you look over to Velia, and she's also kind of shaken. Not as visibly as Akis. She holds herself well, but you can tell there's something definitely off a little bit about her too.
Okay. Which one of you wants to go first with their experiences?
Just as a DM point, I'm gonna shift this notice for Velia onto explaining what she saw once I explain it to her when she returns in 2 weeks, and then she can tell you if she told you at the campfire or if not. So we'll scoot. That's the kind of deal. But anyway, yeah. As you were.
I'm gonna help Rune. I'm just gonna gather some brush from the area here. Where are we setting this up? Just inside the door?
Yeah, just inside the door.
All right.
Yeah, we can set some tents
I
up
mean,
outside.
out of
To
the
shelter
rain.
any light.
Yeah, out of the
Velia
rain,
casts
plus the light.
bonfire with the aid of your shrubbery and quickly generates
Perfect.
a fire to warm yourselves. And
See,
she's
it's
just
been a long trip. I forgot you can do that.
she loves a bonfire. She'd kick my ass if you
You
know.
use it at least 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. It's also this time where she pulls off the magical ring slightly that she found in there, and she says, "There's an inscription on this. Can anyone read it?" She holds it out to everyone.
What language is it in?
Have a quick look. Any language?
Have a glance.
Does anyone speak Celestial?
Negative.
Nope.
I'll just
It's
wear
like
it for now then.
gibberish to me.
Yeah. It looks
Yeah.
like gibberish to all of you. You don't even know it's Celestial, you just don't know what language it is.
Some squiggly weird lines.
To
maybe I can-
Alfred with love.
Maybe I can do a spell to figure it out. Yeah. Edra's just closing up with her doggos. One of them comes back with a rabbit it's found.
These dogs
Crystal.
are useful.
When I hit it, I thought I died. It was dark. And it was... When people say they died, they say they see a light at the end of the tunnel, right? A little beam or something. So I thought I died. So I went to walk towards the light, and then... something was there. It was hungry. Unless it wanted me to eat something. But there was another one of them crystals. I think it was yellow. And there was eyes. I think red eyes. 4 of them.
So you saw this crystal in a
But
dark
yellow.
space, but yellow.
Yes.
That's weird.
How long did you have a perception of time? I mean, it was just a moment that you were standing there.
Felt like minutes.
Yeah, I'd say you probably think it was about 10 minutes. Took you a while to walk to it, take in the space.
Huh.
I didn't know what to do, so I just poked it with my rapier. I tried magic and nothing was working.
What happened when you poked it?
It's like it was like a light, I guess. I don't know. It was weird. It was like darkness and light at the same time, and then we were in the tunnel and running.
Anyone want to touch the crystal?
I'm not going near that thing.
I mean,
Not particularly.
there's clearly
For
more to
science.
this than meets the eye. But speaking of hungry, like I'm starving, so that's a great story. I'm gonna eat though. And I reach in my bag and I pull out some rations. I just start like inconsiderately mowing down on food.
So Velia touched that crystal, and after she got zonked out, if you touched it again, would it affect you
I
I
again?
don't really want to touch that thing again. Not if it takes me back there.
Vila says, I touched it a second time and nothing happened immediately. Like I pushed it before we got the bag on it. I need to kind of think about what I saw. It was
All right.
Okay. Well, at least it's out of everyone else's hands. Probably safer with ours. To some
Yeah.
extent, at least.
Or is it?
I mean, it's out of sight, out of mind.
What if this thing is evil? What if it's gonna corrupt you guys now that you've touched it?
I think
way
it's
to
save me.
set his mind at ease there.
Yeah.
I'm speaking truths. It could be an evil crystal. I mean, it's very sparkly and all, but it could be evil. I don't trust it.
This is familiar in a way. And
See, he's saying it's familiar now.
something happened a while ago where everything went black. And then I came back to, and then it was just anger and rage, and I don't know if it's the same. So I asked this thing, is this what saved me? And it didn't respond. I didn't get any response at all. It was like it was projecting its thoughts but couldn't speak.
Weird.
Like it was.
here.
Was it reaching out for help?
No. It didn't look like it needed help. It was
I wonder how the crystals are connected.
Or if they
almost
What if it's the same one?
manipulating. Just issuing commands, no conversation, just commands. Wild thoughts, hunger, consume.
Huh.
And you said something like that saved you in the past? Bromir, where did you find him?
Listen,
A very
wasn't
long
me.
story. Something similar, not exact, similar. A lot
Was
of
this-
darkness and then light.
Huh.
Touch the crystal with a rapier, darkness and light.
So something did a good thing to you. Anyway, but I think we can all agree that we shouldn't touch it now. Just for now.
I'm trying to think. Feed and consume. That's interesting. I'm trying to think back to the note we had from the Thieves Guild instructing on getting bodies, essentially.
Yeah, you're right.
I wonder if this is related in some way.
Well, we know that temple was related to the blood necromancer, or the necromancer, that previous cave. So we know they were sending bodies somewhere.
Perhaps to feed something.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, there weren't any bodies in this cave, were there?
None.
Yeah.
Well,
There was a
Remnants,
temple.
lots of bones, lots of
Yeah.
skeletons.
Yeah.
Old bones, right?
Very old, yeah.
So might not even be connected. Unless that weird time warp thing that happened to his brain. Oh no. What if it is connected? What if they go away and then like seconds later it's like 1,000,000-year bones?
Interesting.
Choose wisely.
I don't think we're gonna figure out anything else just talking about it right now. I think we need to get a rest. Especially
can
you,
we-
Akis. Are those gonna grow back, by the way? And I motion towards his
Bald
where his
patch.
feathers used to be.
Maybe. I've never been dissolved before. So we'll see.
Yeah, we might need to get you some clothes.
I could just change myself to look like my old. I just snap my fingers and I look like my old self, as if I wasn't even dissolved or anything, and what feathers are back.
Yeah, you might be cold though. A little brisk. Cold morning air coming up.
I got warm clothes. I'm fine.
All right. I can take first watch because I've been sleeping a lot these last few weeks. So, but you guys.
I would like to heal my hands from all that acid looting. So I'm gonna go chill.
I'm gonna dump a couple cure wounds into Akis and Karaya. Just to get people back to full and hopefully feeling a little better enough to
Okay, yeah.
I'm healthy. I'm fine. Thank you though.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
You wanna
Thank
roll
you,
out the hit points?
Sure.
Question, Apollo. When I was partially dissolved, was any of my back exposed?
I mean, the entirety was inside this being, so it was dissolving you from all areas. So, if you're wearing a backpack, then it would generally dissolve the backpack first in that area. But if you do have any natural areas, it will just eat through your clothing in certain parts and then your skin. So,
So
it's up to you.
would have. Let's just say before I disguised self, you guys noticed like a big scar down one side of my back, and then it's just gone. Like there was nothing there. See, feathers are back. It's fine.
I tossed 8 to Akis and 9 to Karaya.
Okay, mark them up. So, Edgerose, I'll take a watch too. Does anyone want to take the third and final watch?
Sure.
take-
Yeah, I'll do it.
Ooh, both do it together if you want.
Sure.
Jump on
Sure.
one of them, I guess.
Okay.
I didn't take watch last night, so I'll take this watch.
Edger just says I'll take second watch. So, Brommy, you're on 1st watch. Do you want to? Is everyone wanting to do anything before they go to sleep?
Drink.
Drink.
We pull out the bottle with all the corks. I'm gonna open one of them. I'm gonna say, "Please give me ale."
Roll me a
Pour one
D10.
out.
I think it's a D10, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Let me have a quick check.
Okay.
Yeah, D10.
Okay. 7.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I see
6,
Rune
7.
pull this out, and my eyes light up immediately. I'm just like,
You see a brownish liquid as you pour a little bit out. It smells very
Yeah.
acidic-y.
Karaya.
I'll
First one.
pass.
What is this? What does your nose tell you?
I don't know. What
I
does it tell me?
After
I
a,
don't know.
after a solid like 10 seconds, you smell it and it's vinegar.
I asked it for beer and it gave me this.
I'm gonna pour some into my mug I'm just gonna dip some of my rations in it. Get some extra flavor in there.
It doesn't say if it's balsamic vinegar or malt vinegar, so I'll let you choose.
It's apple cider vinegar.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I don't care. I'm good.
Okay, roll me a perception check, Bromir, for
Yeah.
your first watch. And if anyone's taking watch with him, then you can too.
Oh, camera went all wonky. 15 plus whatever. What's perception for me?
Was there anyone else on watch with you?
Plus 3. Okay, so I'm on 18.
No one
I
said.
think so.
If you want to jump in, Aquis, you can.
Yeah. Was it perception you said?
Mm-hmm. You got an 18, yeah, Magna?
I did.
9.
9. Very quiet night. The kind of side of the mountain where you've emerged from, it's like very isolated. You're just like basically on the other side of the mountain range from the town. So there's mountains like all around you, and you're gonna have to try and find a way out. But you see birds, at least what you think's birds in the distance in the night sky, the stars and the moons, plural, shining down upon you. But it goes undisturbed. You find your rest. And you wake Edra up. Is anyone taking watch with Edra? Just Edra.
I am passed the fuck out now.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sleeping.
Really?
Well.
Samesies.
She doesn't wake any of you up, so it seems to have gone unnoticed. And who's doing the third and final watch?
Me.
Rune. Okay, roll me a perception.
And
Karai.
Karaya.
Yep, you can both roll perception checks. If you want to talk about anything, just go ahead. Just let me know, or otherwise I'll move.
Perception 17.
This cigarette was awful. 10.
10. Cry, you notice that like Akis is like turning in his sleep. He's obviously not fully settled. Hear like little words, but not words, like grumbles coming from him.
Poor
And,
guy.
Yeah, other than that, the night is pretty much uneventful, and you start seeing the sun cresting over the mountain range, which is a welcome sight since you've been in the dark for a couple of days. do you
Karaya
do?
watches the sunrise and just thinks out loud that she didn't think that she'd see this after being on this kind of sunrise again after being on the ship for a while and everything that's transpired so far. It's unexpected. What about you, Rune?
I just want the village to be okay.
The village that we
Anything.
just left?
Yeah, the village we just left. I hope the tremors didn't destroy more than necessary.
I just hope there was no one else hiding out in there, except for.
We know there was the military. So,
Are you ex-military? I forget.
actually, yes. Yes.
I'm sure they're fine. I hope they're fine.
Hopefully,
Most of these people.
training kept them through.
We'll see, I suppose.
Yeah. We'll see. Let's wake the others.
Yeah.
One by one, you all awaken.
Grabs and clang, clang, clang.
You all awaken abruptly to Karaya smashing. One of the dogs from Edra's dogs picks up his head and is like, "Grrr."
Rise and shine.
You all can
buttercups.
mark off a long rest.
I'm gonna do a quick inventory check, make sure I've still got everything.
Kariah looks offended.
You're missing a pan.
in your sleep, Akis, you just kept replaying the like vision over in your head. Like your brain subconsciously was just hyper focused on it. It was just replaying elements of it. The voice echoed, and you do feel tired. You didn't get a really good night's sleep. Also, Rune, from elements of your sleeping, quite undisturbed as well. Especially, you kind of saw the jelly and Aquis in that moment. It comes back to you. You think to yourself, I did everything I could. I got him up.
I did good. No one died. This time.
So, Edra jumps up. Let's get going. I want to make sure the town's safe. I don't know where we are roughly, but I think I might be able to navigate our way back, at least. We've got to walk around the mountain, though. It might take us the better part of a couple of days. So we better get a move on. We'll see if we can
help.
I don't know. Fly?
Is there a road?
You don't see any
Path?
road. You're in like the back, you're like in the midst of a mountain range that's very untraversed.
That's a sore subject.
Let's get a move on then.
Yeah. The rains slowly turned into snow. Still kind of early new birth, so quite cold and chilly out. But the previous snow is washed away. And it's kind of fresh. It's kind of peaceful, nice. Very, very quaint comparing from where you've just traversed from a temple made of death. Edra is leading the group. Unless one of you else want to kind of take over. Does anyone want to assist her or help her?
It's fine.
I can try and assist. It's like mountainous terrain, so
Yeah.
I might be able to help.
Do you want to roll or you give an advantage?
I'll give her advantage.
Nice, that helped. She rolled a 4 first time. 17 second. So yeah, you start heading in that direction. You travel for about half a day. The dogs running off at various points and bringing back fresh meat, and you kind of get the sense of it's how she makes a living. Dogs hunt, and she pulls in pelts and furs and meats and things. And then you see kind of a natural ravine in between the mountains. So you kind of just like walked along the mountainside around, and it kind of leads in the direction you want to. And you can see like in between the two mountains, like far out, still far, couple of miles further, but you start seeing like the ocean line of, obviously it was an ocean side village. So I think I know where we are roughly. Probably about, we made good time. Might have to do one more camp, but honestly I think we could push through the night and maybe get there by morning if you're up for traversing through the night.
Yeah.
It's fine
Sure.
with me. I can see clearly in the dark.
All right.
Yeah.
Same.
Works for me.
I guess.
Yeah. You all push on through, and to save a journey in the snow, you eventually make it back to the road. Everyone roll a perception check for me.
What?
Damn.
You'd think
Ted.
being a bird-like person, I'd be good at this, but no. Oh, it's 22 total.
5.
Did anyone get over 18, sorry?
Yeah, I did.
So you Bromir, you and Edra both look towards the road that you came out at. You traversed it a couple of days ago when you were on your way into the village. You're probably half a day out. Sun's still setting at this point, and you're just getting into night point, and you see two figures at the end of the road. Probably 100, 150 feet away from you. They just like You don't know if they've camped out there or they're sat there. They have a couple of horses tied up and hitched up. They see your group emerge from the road, look at you guys, then get up on the horses and start to ride away. Edra looks back at you all and she's like, that was weird. Who the fuck are they?
I have a funny feeling I might know who they were belonging to.
Who?
A friend of ours that we were sent here for. What's his name? The guy we met that liked to beat up the guards.
Oh, the cat.
The cat.
The cat. One of my awesome NPCs now known as the cat.
The cat.
People.
Kaibo.
Kaibo? The cat. Yeah, that one. Keeping an eye, maybe. Said he'd be watching.
And sorry, which direction are they
They're,
headed?
they're heading away from the town, basically.
Yeah.
They were set up on the outskirts of a town, probably like a mile or so out. And
If they assume no insignias or anything, just
too far away
men.
to make out any details. The sun casting shadows, just black humanoid figures that mounted up and rode away.
Shall we catch up with them?
no
They're on
chance.
horseback. I don't
They're
think
on
we're gonna do
horseback.
Definitely from Kaibo.
Oh well.
Edra shrugs it off. She's like, come on, my house is only a couple of hours away. She leads you back to the house. Your horse, your cart, still there, munching on some hay that had been left for. And it's the first bit of, okay, we're out of the woods. We're out of the thick of it. Yeah. Well, technically you're in the woods. The house is deep in the woods, but you know. You're still probably a mile or two from town. She's like, but Edra is just super focused. My dogs are safe. Oh my god. Like, just making sure all the dogs are here and everything's in order. You're more than welcome to stay the night if you want to. It's probably about midnight at this point. You make it back to us.
Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you.
Try and get a good night's rest before the long journey back.
Yeah. Can we see if the quarry town is still?
If you want to
standing
travel
from
there,
here?
take you probably another hour to 2 hours to travel into town, at least visible enough to see it. It's kind of pitch black, so it's kind of hard to make out any details. In the morning, you might be able to see something from a little bit further distance.
Let's do that tomorrow.
Fine. Okay.
Edra's like, I'm probably going to go that way anyway, because I want to see, what happens, if anything. So yeah, she invites you into her home. She lights the fire, takes a couple of the rabbits that the dogs had hunted, starts depelting them, getting out all the innards and making a rabbit stew.
Delicious.
Does anyone want to do anything particular or talk about anything? Otherwise, we're just going to go through the motions.
I pull out the rings that we got from the temple with the skulls and the hands on them, and I'm looking them over, and I'm just sort of asking to the group at large. I wonder what the insignia means or represents.
Yeah, you can all roll a knowledge religion, or it'd be religion if anything. I would say, if you're proficient in religion, you can roll a knowledge religion. If you're not proficient in religion, you can roll a knowledge history, but it'll be harder to glean.
6. I don't know anything.
You have no idea.
17 history.
17 history.
Mine's a +1 either way, so a 9.
16 religion.
Okay. Karaya, you recognize the symbol of the hand, which is the symbol of Bane. It's quite a nasty deity. Other than that, you're not too sure. You never really studied religion too much. You never really had a reason to. You just recognize it's a very iconic symbol of the hand.
Do any of my character bonuses play into that?
You'll have to look. I can't tab out to look at your channel. I can look at my phone quickly.
Okay.
Can't fully remember all the bonuses I gave everyone, but
Yeah, they're all related to history and perception, so never mind.
yeah, you rolled a religion one and you just succeeded anyway.
Yeah.
So you know that the skull is for an insignia for Mercure, and the other one is for Bane as well. Both very nasty deities. Both kind of have been known to work together, but it's very strange that they shared a temple of worship to you. I would say, unless your character's really well known in researching religious deities of evil nature, you probably don't know too much, but you have definitely enough information to start poking around some libraries if you wanted to.
Keith, you mentioned some. Trying to actually remember if you did mention it. The eyes. Did you mention that?
The four red eyes.
Yeah.
The
It's
eyes
interesting there was two
weren't
beings.
connected as well. They were on different levels and then they'd move. So yeah, it wasn't like the same giant head with multiple eyes or something like that.
Yeah. Just interesting to note. I don't know if it's related, but
4 eyes, 4 crystals, maybe. We've got 2.
sorry to clarify.
Maybe more.
That it was 2 sets of eyes, or it was 4
Two
separate
sets of eyes. Two sets
Two
of
sets
eyes.
of eyes.
2 sets
And
of
they
eyes,
weren't-
2 crystals.
When I came up to the crystal, they were either
Yes.
side, and then when I got close to the crystal, like touching distance to the crystal, it felt like I was being enveloped by whatever it was. At least it was all around me, if that makes sense.
Velia turns to you, Rune, and she's like, I saw you when I touched it.
Me?
Yeah. I saw other things too, I think. I'm still processing it all. But you were the first thing I saw. When I
Did I
touched it.
look the same as I do now?
Yeah, I think. It all happened kind of fast. You were stood facing away from me. And facing the crystal. And then I saw other things. Other lights. I'm still piecing it together.
Well, Velia, did she rest enough? Is she okay? Can we
She
just,
looks okay. Roll me an insight check as you're kind of leaning into.
Like...
What'd you get?
12.
12?
12.
It's hard to read. You've traveled with Velia for quite a while now, and you know she's very hard to read person. And she's a little bit ditzy in areas. That makes it a little bit more trickier to understand her feelings, I would say. Yeah, she looks about as haggard as the rest of you. That's just got out of a collapsing temple.
Okay. So, bed rest for her.
General tiredness, but you're all tired and dusty. Your clothes are ripped in places, melted in places from acid. So yeah, you all look a little bit rough.
All right. I think the crystal damaged people should probably do more active resting, or try to do more active resting.
Probably
Odd.
not go well for us.
Edger
Probably not.
asks, "What are you doing with the stuff you found from there? Then you taking it
Well, they were-
away? You reckon that'll lead the guards away too?" I hope
Taken
so.
away from here. If the thing isn't here that they're looking for, then what reason is there for them to stay?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I'm hoping for.
It's going to be very far away from here.
Yeah. I have a theory. No, I don't.
Okay. Yes, you do. Lay it on us.
I'll
Come
share
on,
it.
Don't pull back on us.
2 rings, 2 sets of footsteps, 2 crystals.
Oh,
Theoretically, potentially
no.
2 crystals.
Just to recap for you, because you're away for the episode, Bromir found 3 sets of each rings, and they were all in sarcophaguses that you had to pop the lids off and on bodies. So it was
So-
like,
So it was 2 rings per person.
yeah.
Or-
So you have 3 rings with hands on and 3 rings with skulls on. Yeah.
Okay. So shared deity. Ooh, okay. Well, I think
And a gold
regardless
necklace. And
Oh,
2
I know.
metal spheres.
The metal spheres you don't
gold
have
necklace.
anymore. You put them in the
we-
machinery.
we-
Oh,
those to get out.
Right, thank you. Let me edit this.
There is.
The poison machine or something.
So it's still 2 crystals, 2 gods.
Yeah.
If only we knew more about religion. I suppose we should seek someone out who does. So that's my theory. I think we should probably look into it before we share any of the information. Figure some stuff out for ourselves.
I know about some religion, just not this place.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't help at the moment. I don't know anything about religion. So,
At this point, rabbit stew's passed out to you all. Smells delicious.
yum, yum, yum. Uriah kind of pushes a dog away, who is begging.
2 more take its place. There's like several dogs around.
Just like keep the distance. Keep with the boots.
She puts them down in separate dog bowls and they kind of filter out and leave you alone for a little bit afterwards.
I eat fast. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think we should do next? We've got all these random magical items that we have no idea what they do. We've had 2 party members experience some out-of-body crystal possession. And we have no idea what any of this means, or if it's tied to the initial reason why we came out here. Assuming it is. Or why is the
Well,
army here?
Yeah,
What's
so
going on?
there's a lot of things in play.
Yeah.
Obviously, no one necessarily needs to know that we have that crystal in our possession.
No one should know.
I'm sure Kaiba's going to be expecting some information.
I'm assuming Kaiba already knows that we have it.
How?
How?
The men on the road.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
there's no indication that we have anything from that location. Just from their perspective,
We're alive. That's
everything
it.
collapsed, cloud of dust, and we're alive.
If I understand
I
the item we found, this bag, this is Velia talking. It should technically stop them, even if they had magical capabilities, I think. They shouldn't be able to detect whatever's in the bag, I think. I'm not too sure, but I think that's how magic works.
That's so in character.
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
I try.
I actually don't think those people on the road, I don't think they're related to the Claw. I think they may have been the 2 people that we found the footsteps of.
Just hanging around there for months.
Well, they're only a month old. So
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
could be local.
they could have been nearby and saw the commotion. And they would know where that passage led out to.
We didn't really explore that passage, or like, did it have any turns or anything? Were there
Uh,
any deviations in
yeah,
there?
there was
Had
multiple paths we could've-
You followed like the dust, like rune spotted boot prints, and you followed them, and that led you to the correct path of getting out. But there was, imagine like a rat network of just multiple caves and caverns just going anywhere. You could have ended up traveling, to under the ocean. You've even read weird stories about there being subterranean ground that, primal beings can live and stuff like that in like horror movie, or not movies. Movies don't exist in horror stories, and
At the opera.
yeah, at the opera, yeah, stuff like that. You could have ended up in who knows where. It was just by spontaneous luck and very good keen eyes from Rune that he spotted these boot prints that seem to have been there before.
Yeah.
I guess.
But you didn't
theoretically
see
there
any
could be
coming
somebody-
in. It looked like someone was leaving the temple and opened the door. That was a stone kind of door that had long been sealed and overgrown. Someone opened it from the inside out.
Well, I suppose. Sorry, I don't remember. This was so long ago. Did I?
It's okay.
Did I tell Kaibo not to send people to watch us?
You did. You did. You
Okay,
asked
so
him
we can-
politely
we
not
can
to.
Politely.
You don't know if he listened or.
Yeah. Okay. So we can grill him about that, because otherwise, I think if he didn't send someone after us, and somebody is just kind of following us around, he would be as unhappy to hear that as we were unhappy to see that we were being followed. Personally, I was very unhappy. I don't like being followed.
He was like, "Well, I'm pooped. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night."
Good night. Do all the dogs draw after her? Like,
Not all. The different personalities, but a few.
the army of dogs.
I'm gonna stay up for a bit, like an hour or two, just watching outside.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
Nine.
It's very dark. The tree canopy that surrounds the house. There's a reason the military haven't found a living a little bit out the sticks out here. It's too dark to see anything really.
Okay. No, crash
Anyone
after
else
that.
wanting to do anything?
I can also stay up, I suppose, and watch. Watch.
Yeah. Roll me a perception check.
Not much to watch for, but I hope. Because I just rolled as well.
Listen to the weezer bugs.
Yeah. It's tranquil. It's kind of peaceful. It stopped snowing at this point, but you see the fresh snow is kind of laid on the ground. It gives it some kind of light from the stars, but you don't really see much.
How romantic.
All right. Morning finds you all. The smell of reheated rabbit stew. Still a welcoming smell.
Delicious.
And dog, because it just smells like dog everywhere. But yeah,
Less
you
delicious.
you're all awakened to a warm
Mariah,
interior.
How could you? Dogs are not food.
Dogs, friends, not food.
They're food, not friends.
Oh, brilliant film.
But yes, you
What,
all.
what do you mean? What's a film?
Yeah, what's a film? The theater. You all slowly awaken. Rune again, a little bit untroubled sleep. This time you start thinking of what Velia said to you, and you just kept picturing in your dreams the crystal. It's kind of something primal or deep in you, is like, why did she see me? Why? And you feel an innate like feeling of, I want to know why. Why?
Would Karaya pick up on this unsettling not thought process, but the fact that one of the people is acting a little weird?
Roll me
Weirder
a
than the yesterday.
perception or insight check. And Rune, if you're kind of, you'd play this off, Rune, if you'd try and hide your emotions, it would be a
Yeah,
deception.
I would for sure. Yeah.
18.
lower.
Yeah, you see, you do glean that the last couple of nights he has had not as good rest as everyone else.
Stare him out. Like, you okay?
I'm fine.
You don't seem to be getting rested, unlike the night before. Is it the crystal by any chance?
It'll go back to normal eventually. This happens from time to time. My past hasn't been kind to me, so I've been trying to adapt and look on the more positive aspects of life.
I don't say anything, but I take note of that.
Pariah
Yeah.
kind of does gives an understanding. I'm not buying your bullshit, but okay, I'll let you off this.
Well, that
'Cause
part,
there's more to it.
that insight part there was kind of, he was being a little bit honest, but still not telling you
But
why he's
covering,
been upset. Yeah.
A little standoffish.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
tell, you can not tell someone something by telling them the truth.
Yeah.
So yeah, you all awaken. Edra's up before you, and she's like, I've been out already, I'm an early riser. Good news, the town seems to be okay, most of it. Part of it has collapsed. I mean, you can go see for yourself. The guards are kind of all over it, so I'd be careful on your approach, although the town is kind of in a dip, so shouldn't be too hard. But the mountain. Yeah. Half of it's gone.
I was gonna say it's still there, right?
Well, some of it.
Interesting.
Mm.
We did good. Not just Rune. It's fine.
So we managed to destroy
Everyone's fine.
half of the mountain.
Half of the mountain's gone. Like sunken
what is
in,
this
like
thing?
fell gone, or like
From her description, she just said like half of it appears to have been gone. I didn't really get
Wow.
too close to see. I kept to the outskirts. I could just obviously visibly see the mountain that I've seen all my life just change.
yeah. I definitely want to take a look myself.
Well,
What do you
I
guys
want
want to do?
to get out of here as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm happy to come with you to look at this mountain thing, but we really should get going soon. I don't think we should stay here.
Edra speaks up. I'm gonna stay here. I would thank you all for getting the guards out of my town, but we kind of wrecked it as well. So, yeah. She gives you a little nod. A little nod of thanks, I think.
Get out.
Yeah.
You're absolutely welcome. Call us anytime.
We
Or
Call?
join.
we
Cole?
appreciate your
Send a messenger. A dog.
Yeah.
Pigeon. Rabbit.
we appreciate your hospitality though.
And your help. Thank you.
If you're ever up here again, sure, swing by. I'll be here, like always. She
We'll
nods.
try not to destroy the rest of your town next time.
That would be great. You know, I'm kind of a recluse out here, but, you know, I need people in the town to trade with, so...
It's good to be around people regardless.
Yeah,
Adjacent to
Even if
people.
for your own sanity.
yeah, I prefer dogs over people, as you can tell.
That's-
That's
yeah.
acceptable.
One by one, you're led to your cart. You have all your belongings, everything like that, and she waves you off as you traverse through the woods back to the main road on the cart. So, where are we going? We going north or south?
Well, should we go back and update Kaibo?
You have to go north to the town if you want to see it. But you can actually see, now you're on the road and out of the woods, you can actually see the mountain range does look different from what you kind of picture it. It was hard. It's kind of hard for you because you only saw it briefly as you were traveling. You didn't really fully take it in, you know, ooh, mountains. You do notice that there is a visible difference. You can't see the town from here, so.
Does it look like it more collapsed or that it just disappeared?
Yeah, there's more, no, you just see there's more sky now.
Okay.
From where you are, you can't really see what the kind of aftermath is, but there's more sky. Less mountain.
All right, well, it's still early. Let's take an hour or so, see what we can see. If by then we still can't, make out what's happened, then we'll head on our way.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, we don't have to go, like, into town to where we have to deal with the guards.
No, we'll go around, like, up so we
yeah.
get more of a...
Yeah, you remember the first time you approached the town, it's kind of in its valley of its own. Like there's like cliffs that the road is led on above, and then the town goes down to be met by the ocean and stuff like that. So it's in kind of like a natural ravine bit anyway. So after an hour or so, you approach the town, and you can see that there's still smoke and dust pluming out from where the quarry once was. The entire guard barracks that was on that ridge overlooking the quarry is like sunken in, and it's kind of like that half of the mountain is like collapsed in further, and half the town is kind of collapsed in from the quarry to where the ancient ruins was. You see the river is kind of like disjointed and is still finding its own way, but part of it's now coming through the village itself. It's kind of changed how that river flows and motion there. And you can see countless numbers of guards, probably 50 to 100, just all out in just shifting through some rocks, trying to glean what might have happened. And you do see, as you're looking in, that there is a couple of horseback guards kind of clock you, like trade eyes a little bit. They don't seem to move. They're just kind of, they kind of see this someone in the distance. You know, you're still kind of ants to them, and vice versa. But they're definitely, you've rumbled the ants' nest, so to speak. And they're figuring out the next steps, just like anyone else.
Alright.
Right. I think we should go before, like, they remember us.
They never saw us. And we
Even
never
it-
saw them. Let's go.
Yeah.
You
Let's
turn
go.
the cart around, full speed back, not knowing if they're pursuing or anything like that, but you're still, you know, fairly distant away. So you'll be able to probably clock them if you, in a couple of minutes, if you see them pursuing.
Sorry,
and you head back
before we
south.
go,
Sure.
there was no... Like, I know, obviously, the fairly bright green light when we got there. There's no, like, indication of any remnants of the temple. It's pretty much all filled in.
It's all like, yeah, just rocks now, rubble, rocks, mountains, stuff like that. Like
Crater.
you only saw the green light once you were inside the quarry, and it was coming out of the winch area. So from the road, when you first saw the town, it just looked like a normal town.
Yeah,
but
I
yeah.
just mean if it was, depending on how things
Oh.
collapsed in, if there was
If there's like a
anything
temple
coming
sticking
of
out.
it.
Yeah, nothing at all. Like
Yeah,
just,
okay.
just rubble and rock. And it looks like it's just gone into a giant sinkhole. Like there's just everything's just gone in. And you presume what was that bottomless canyon is now filled with half a mountain or more.
Not quite bottomless, but deep.
Yeah.
Even to the point where the ocean as well is now like used to be in like a line with the mountainside going into the ocean, but the ocean's now like curving around slightly, and it's like formed a cove of sorts.
Wow.
Jeez.
We've left our mark.
Yeah.
The
I'll
mark
have to
leavers.
Hey, we come up with a group name.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Lancers.
Maybe,
What are you thinking? Mark Weavers? Mark Levers?
No, it could be. We could call ourselves something related to the mountains. We'll have to give it some thought. We'll be remembered for all of ages.
Bringing your kids here, and that's where we destroyed a mountain.
We didn't mean to, but
We got the name of the Destroyers of Azoria.
Well,
So
yeah. Let's roll. I'm gonna
traversing
hop
back. You know, it's probably about a week or so's journey on the way back. So, without making you do loads of rolls, you've traversed this route before. You know the way back. You remember it. It's not been too long. Is there anything particular you're all wanting to do on the way back? Or anything
Trying to
like
get
that?
better sleep.
Every now and then, and my feathers coming back, or are they just gone?
No, they grow back. They grow back.
Like, no, the one Deadpool moment where he's got like a tiny little hand.
Yeah. I don't know too much about the intricacies of a mythical fantasy race regrowing their feathers, but they will regrow. It'll take a little bit of time, but yeah. Let's say that over the course of a week, you've got freshly new feathers. And back when you're going into town, your feathers are back to normal. So yeah, that would bring us to the 22nd of New Birth. And you start seeing the big walls of Port Troston come into view. It's been a long journey back, a lot of cold nights on the road. Although sleep does gradually find you all a little bit better, but even though you're getting better sleep, Rune, you just keep thinking, why? I need to know. And more. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, actually. This is more, you're not going to get attacked, but more your inner conscience.
Okay. 9.
Oh. Yeah, you wanna glean into the crystal. You wanna look into the crystal just because Velia saw you, or at least you need to do something. It's like impatient, like playing on your mind.
Yeah.
If you rolled high, I'd be like, you're thinking about it, but you can shrug it off. But because, yeah, give him a chance. Anyway, you pull up to the gates of Port Troston. You see now that... Sorry, go on.
Before you get quite to the gates, during one of the nights, I feel like we would have had a discussion on what we're going to tell
Sure.
the Claw.
Yeah, let's do it. Rewind a little bit
Say?
and go back to a campfire.
What are we going to tell Kaiba?
The truth. He has the information potentially for me, so I would like to tell him the truth.
What about the gym?
That's part of the truth. I don't know how
Wait.
you will feel about it, but
wait, you want to tell him about the crystal?
he wants the crystal. We're not just going to tell him about it. We have to give him the crystal.
Well, it's not that he wants it. He wants the people. He wants the vagrants. He wants the townspeople to return to their town so that things can go back to normal.
Yeah.
Because they're all living out in tents. I don't think he really cares what the solution is. Just that the end goal is reached.
In fact, he clarified specifically that he doesn't care the means of how that is.
Just as a
reached.
refresher, he said something along the lines of, yes, he wants the town people gone because they're taking up his resources, and he's much more of a fuck the military, I'll do whatever I can to get one over on them kind of person. So he sent you up there to find out and investigate what they were doing up there, because presumably you don't know if he knows, but what he told you is, I don't know what they're doing up there. They've kicked everyone out of the town. Whatever they're doing in there, I want it. I want whatever they're wanting, and I want the town to go back to normal. But he doesn't... You get the feeling that he doesn't necessarily know what they were there for. Or does he?
Oh,
That's the gamble.
Well, now half the town's gone, so...
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason anyone outside of our group here would know
About a
that we
crystal.
took the crystal. Like,
Yeah.
So what
as far as anyone's...
there?
Say again?
What are we going to say was there? Because it has to be
Well, we
some-
can say what was there, but I mean, it could have been lost in the rubble.
That's true. We can tell them there was a temple and
And it fell.
something happened and the mountain fell down.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily keen on laying all our cards on the table, at least until we learn more about what this is.
Clearly, this crystal is dangerous, and the less people that know about it, the better.
Yeah, and the whole point of us going up there was to gain trust of Kaibo, and we were potentially being brought on for some additional missions, and I think we can establish trust without divulging everything.
Yeah, I also think that local gang leader won't know much about the intricacies of temple mythology and where this crystal came from. He's more interested in running the town and, as he said, by any means possible, solving his problems, so maybe not the best person to hand a potentially dangerous item to. So if you're under any oaths, we'll have to skirt around those.
I'm under no oath.
Cool. Then we lie.
We also know that whoever command came down to send the military to that town came from someone higher than Shona.
Yep. Wait.
She was rather pissed off that they were
Lyros.
sending her. What?
From Lyros.
Lyros?
Knight Commander Lyros, yeah. Shona was her assistant.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
right.
Also, I don't think Kaibo knows that we had a direct dialogue with them. The
I'm
military.
pretty sure we were followed.
Was
I
that
think-
not before
That
we
was
went to
after.
Kaibo? Oh, yeah.
No, you literally left Kaibo's place and then went straight
went
to
straight
Portmaster and then
Yeah.
straight to Lyros.
Alright, so we should probably be careful about how we talk about this. Then we tell him about Lyris, and yeah, maybe there will be peace.
Yeah.
No, there won't.
Yeah, if he brings up like us going to the military camp, then we can tell him what we learned. It's not
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Velia asks at the campfire as well. What do we do with what we found chained up? Maybe we
What was
should.
Oh,
chained up?
in that room.
Yeah, should we talk about that later after we've got out of this pickle? And
What was it? Freshman
Yeah, I
memory?
forgot about that.
so in one of the rooms there was like vast amounts of chains connecting to like a bird cage like contraption, and in the middle of it was an urn that's intricately carved with skulls and evil kind of vibes and energy. In the same room, on a pedestal on either side, there was a golden greatsword hilt and the ring that Velia's now wearing that you didn't understand the language of. But you have this urn. You smashed out the chains and the cage, and you have this skull adorned urn.
Is there anything inside of it?
Could be someone.
Or is it sealed?
It's sealed, yeah. It's sealed.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
not open the evil
No.
urn, shall we?
There was some sort of urn chained up, and then a greatsword hilt in the other corner.
No, either side of there's like 3 pedestals in the room. One in the middle had the urn that was having all the chains connected to it, and then the other 2 pedestals, one contained the ring and one contained the greatsword hilt.
So that, to me, looks like relics of someone's champion. And I honestly think we should have left that shit where it was. Because that's bad omen. I don't trust it.
She's like, okay, let's talk about this later. Let's just get through meeting Kibo and Yeah. See what Velia says when she returns in 2 weeks' time. Episode 9, Chronicles of Azoria.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all enter the gates. It's busier than usual. There's people running around. The decorations of the Winter's Crest, Winter's Solace Festival have all been taken down now. You've been out a couple of weeks. Kind of everything's returned back to as normal. But there's, again, still a lack of military presence, visibly. You hear ringing off in the distance. Ding, ding, ding. You're a town crier. Massive earthquake felt from the northern mountains. A few seconds pass and further recent diplomacy fails between the elf nation to the northeast. Tensions rise to breaking point.
Oh dear.
Couple of seconds pass. All military personnel to report to the capital on the 55th of New Birth. Town guard are reporting directly to the 9th district. Another couple of seconds pass. Food shortage in areas due to farmland infections. Stock up now. And then it goes quiet again. And then about 5 minutes later, you hear the same 4 messages from the town crier ringing off as you're riding the cart through the town.
Mission
Rats.
success on getting the military out of there. Military's being reassigned, so maybe the townspeople can go back.
Not necessarily related, though.
No, but
Elven stuff.
it's resources.
Bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Damn it.
is that going to cause us any issues?
It might be causing someone some issues. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something you wish to share with the group?
Mm-mm.
Not much more blunt than that.
Velia looks away from everyone a little bit. She is elven in nature. She's like puts her hood up a little bit. Bright pink. So very noticeable, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Glancing over at Velia. Uncomfortably. Now what? There's gonna be food shortages and a bunch of other. Well, I guess we could make some coin out of this. There will be a lot more missions going forward.
True.
so
Should we find?
where are you riding to with your cart? Are you going to the Sticks? Are you going to the inn on the edge of the Sticks, where you met with the people that took you? So the thing, you know where the front house is in the Sticks, if you want to go directly there. And you knock, obviously, on the door.
I'd just say just ride the car straight to the front inn, the place on the edge of the Sticks. I mean,
Or
That would be ballsy.
the front inn. There was the
Is a
Bumpy
well.
Mole. It was the Bumpy Mole Tavern, which is where you threw the head at the guy, and he took you to the front house.
Yeah.
The secret inn, and then you went
I'm just gonna,
underground
I would like
to
to
knows where.
go back there, but I'm gonna prepare just like just an empty bag and put some rocks in it. Just
Yeah, you head out to the Bumpy Mall. You pull up your cart. You see the same 3 individuals and a couple more goons just basically kicking rocks and talking shit behind the tavern. A bit like Tunnel Snakes vibe from Fallout. And they look up at you like, oh my god, it's the fucking bird guy. Shit, he's talking to his friends like.
I'll got the bag and I'll throw the bag at him.
He preemptive. I'm gonna do dexterity saving. Yeah, he rolled pretty good. He preemptively just sees the bag's like, nope, and jumps out of the way of it, like, not again. Not again. Not again. What do you want?
Rocks. It's
He
fine.
looks down at the rocks.
It's just rocks.
What do you fuckers want?
Take us to your leader.
Take us to Kaiba.
You know where the front house is. Fucking go yourselves.
Oh, this was the front house.
No, he's at the Bumpy Mole. Like, they were just some goons that you found on the outside. And he goes, no, the front house, and there's... And he shakes his head and he walks with you and takes you 30 minutes,
Yeah, we knew that.
an hour through town.
This is nice.
To the-
Isn't this where we were supposed to knock 3 times or something?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. He knocks 3 times on the door and the wooden panel slats over and it's like, the back shuts and you hear a couple of bolts unlatching and the door opens up and you see the front house to the tavern. Ah, you've returned, have you? You see kind of the older gentleman sat smoking his pipe there. You, been a couple of weeks. You look a bit road-worthy.
Yeah,
guess you wanna
we've
go
been
see
on the
me.
road. What's your excuse?
Rude. And to think that you're the one that asked me to find some materials for you. Maybe I didn't now, you know? You wanted some poisons, was it? No, you know what? I'm out of that business. Anyway,
Alright.
you wanna go see the main man? Have you got updates? What is this?
Yeah, we got update.
Alright.
Yeah, we'd like to speak to Kaibo.
You know the drill, and he points to a barrel full of sacks, and he's like, you can put them on your own heads. You're not trusted yet. Do you put the burlap sacks on your heads?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Why not?
begrudgingly.
They take your weapons off you again in a similar like fashion. You find yourselves going through these, down some steps led by hand and through this underground network of sewers, caves, you're not too sure. About 30 or so minutes walking past and you come up inside to the lighted interior, and we'll go to our game cam. The inside, if I have it, the Sleepy Hollow. Is it this one? Maybe this one.
Loading.
Loading. So here we go. There's no guard here. You see Evo is up on his chair. Just move a couple of these guys around a little bit. There's no fight currently ongoing at the moment, but it's just loud interior. Again, no windows. This is floor 1, and then this is the upper floor. There's a couple of floors here. Your burlap sacks are removed, the doors are shut behind you, and your weaponries are passed to Bert the ogre, who takes them and slides them along the floor and grunts a little bit before going back to chowing down on this big it looks like half a pig that he's got the back end of. Just chowing down, eating.
Wonderful.
Kibo acknowledges your arrival, doesn't summon you over or wave you over, but just raises a goblet of wine in his tiger form and drinks to it as he's sat on the stage. What are you all doing? You're free to move around.
I want to take her to Vale. I want to go to the bar.
Same. First thing.
All right.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. That's probably the first place I would go.
I'm just going to leave Velia here, but she'll essentially just follow you guys. Yeah, you all head over to the bar. After a couple of moments and them serving drinks to other people, it's probably about midday, you would imagine. The barkeep comes over, he's like, "Yep, what can I get for you?" Looks down.
Take her to Vale.
Ale. Anything else? Ale. All right. Gives you all ale. Velia gets a wine. Just
I'll
cause.
get a rum.
Just mark over 2 silvers each. Not free drinks now, not like the other time. Yeah, you get a rum. Not the best
What do
rum,
you mean
quite
not
cheap.
free drinks?
Yeah.
Why what?
It's not free
What?
drinks, 2 silver, alright? Unless I hear from the big man himself. You know, we gotta keep buying these pigs for fucking Bert to eat. They're not cheap, you know.
That's our problem.
So you all get your drinks after a while. What are you doing?
I'm gonna nod to the group, sort of in the direction of Kaibo, and let's go give him an update.
Alright. He acknowledges you up, waves you up, and goes into his back office. You don't have to funnel yourselves into his office. You can just put yourselves on here if you want to, just for use of ease. Prior, you go in?
Yeah.
I'll let you move your own token if you want to.
I'm just wondering why my sheet
Yeah.
doesn't have any silver on it, just gold.
Ah, you can down cascade it. So 10 silver is a goal.
Alright, wherever.
Maths.
Where you
Bring the paper all our drinks.
Maths is not my forte.
I'll move you over. There we go.
Thank you.
Okay. So his posture's there, and his. I'm gonna delete the door because it doesn't look good. There we go. He setting the scene for the stream, you know. He waves you all in and close the door behind you. One of you comes in. Karaya, who's last in there, closes the door. So, you've returned. After, you know, I send you guys up there and there's a giant earthquake. Good job, maybe? What's going on? Let me know.
I smirk, sort of, and Bromir says, "Well, guess the mission was to get the military out of there, so."
Get the military
Mission accomplished.
out, not destroy the town. Is the
Yeah.
town destroyed? We can't get any people close. Well, I've not even tried because it's swarming with like the guards and the army. Is the town still there? It's not destroyed.
the
That's
town's
good.
still
Mostly.
He puts
Mostly.
his hand together. Thank you. Well, at least if you've been successful, at least the people that are living in tents will have a house to go back to. So yeah, what else happened?
So, I'm going to be upfront with that we went to the, gosh, what's their name? Shona and who's the other?
Lyros. Like Commander
Lyros.
Lyros. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm upfront in saying we went there
Ah.
first.
I was wondering if you'd tell me about that. Yeah, I saw you talking to that old gaffer Olvar, and then you got rushed quite abruptly, which is quite an impressive feat, up into the Nobles District. I didn't know, obviously, our riffraff can't really get in there too easy, so I was wondering what business you have with them. Obviously, you know that
Yeah.
they're bad for
I
business, so...
I had no no doubt that you were already curious about that, but
I know you asked me not to follow you, and he looks over to Kraya, but, you know, I've run a business.
Yeah. Question is, did you follow us out of the city?
Maybe.
That's a yes or a no question.
I tell
If
you
we're
what I
gonna
want to
trust
tell
each
you,
other.
okay? Anyway, tell me about... I'll tell you. Just tell me what business you have with Lyros. You said you spoke to Lyros?
Yeah. So this was above Lyrus's head, and I'm gonna just explain about they were up north and they essentially rushed us out.
Okay, roll me a
Without any-
persuasion check. With advantage, because you're telling the truth.
17.
You can roll again because you got advantage. See if you get it higher.
16 and a 12.
Okay, yeah.
So
He's
16 was.
seems like he's listening and he's believing what you're saying at the moment. Okay.
So,
How did you gain an audience with her to begin with? You don't just walk into the Knight Commander's place.
We had some previous dealings with
Tell me about him. What previous
Should I
dealings?
just show him? Easier.
We told you about him previously.
I turn myself into look like the necromancer.
Yeah.
Or what we think is a necromancer.
Remember we told you about the necromancer that was doing blood
Yeah, you
upgrades
told me
and-
about that, but you didn't. I didn't know why you was, dealing with the necromancer in the cave, the Auras.
We were tasked to help the people on the road.
with the
caravan.
supply caravans.
Ah.
My caravans are
Oh,
getting
that clicks into place now. So you were hired by Olvar to look into those missing caravans. Okay, that makes sense. Interesting. Okay.
That led to a necromancer. That led us back down here. Here we are.
It's funny old world, isn't it? It all kind of connects. Feels like spaghetti at some points, and then it all just seems to tie into like neat little bows. Anyway. Okay. I believe you. So far. Carry on. To answer your early question, yes, I did have you followed outside the town.
Was that
I don't
your
remember
two-
what. I don't remember what threat I made before, like 3 months ago.
I don't remember either. I don't think he was phased by it though.
Yeah, I know. But I need to uphold it, like just said we wouldn't do something or he'd have to pay us more. I don't remember.
Roll me an intimidation check. As Karaya's
God.
scowling in the corner.
17.
17. Yeah, you're holding up your persona well. Like, yeah, he's looking at you and gives a grin. Toothy grin. Shows you his full teeth. Acknowledges it. More of like a mutual respect kind of thing. He gestures over to Bromir. Alright, carry on.
So was that your two guys we saw shortly after the mountain collapsed?
More than likely, yes.
Good. That saves us some blood.
Well, I sent two guys up there. You could have met anyone up there, I don't know. I sent two guys up and they arrived in town a couple of days before you did. They're the ones that informed me of the mountain collapsing.
Then that would be them, I suppose.
They also informed me that they saw your group emerging from not said collapsed mountain, but a kind of roundabout way within the mountains. I thought
How
you'd
did
be
they
in the
find
town
that?
investigating, but they saw you come in from a mountain pass. So. That's where they saw you. They saw you emerging from like a mountain pass. Because they were stationed on the
lucky we emerged
outside.
at all.
What were you doing in the mountains?
Cave system let us out while the mountain was collapsing.
Yeah.
We got
Oh.
pretty lucky.
The whole reason we were there, though, like the military presence was all geared towards whatever was going on in the quarry. Like, it was open work. They were still looking for something.
What was in the quarry?
Right. So getting there. So.
Sorry, and
besides-
he gestured like sorry, and takes a sip of his wine.
I can tell you're eager for information. It's been a long few days. So, Bromir continues to talk about the creatures that we ran into and the temple that we found.
Temple?
The light that was coming from the temple describes it, at least the outside from what we saw, in sort of great detail. And,
Okay, you describe the outside, yeah. Okay, he looks interested.
Yeah. And we ended up going into the temple because we were going to die otherwise. And by the way, if during this time, if anyone else wants to step in, like you could feel free to cut off Bromir, but Bromir continues to talk about, sort of summarize what we went through, some of the things that we saw, and describes the crystal and sort of the experience that happened. And
Oh, so you're telling me about the crystal that was in there? What? It might be easier. What parts do you leave out?
well, yeah, so a lot happened. So I guess not necessarily the finer details of turning statues or like grave robbing or things of that nature. Just sort of, we arrived at this room, and Valia was sort of entranced by this thing. We snapped her of it, and we hightailed it out of there because everything was collapsing.
So, did you grab it?
No, we didn't have time.
Roll me a deception check.
Anyone want to guide me on this?
Yes.
Guiding is very
Guidance
obvious.
is a visible thing. You will see
It's a
it.
visible thing.
You
Fine,
can
yes.
give him advantage if anyone's chirping in to aid his lie, but you'll need to RP it out. Like,
I don't know
what
my
are you
camera's
saying to aid his lie?
doing. What is?
Just to clarify, the big crystal thing, I don't know what it was. There was something about it that it wanted to be taken, but there was literally rocks falling all down around us. We couldn't even get close to this bloody thing. Luckily enough, a hole opened in the back wall and we were able to get out.
Okay, you can
Right,
roll
yeah,
a deception
deception.
or give Bromir advantage. I'll allow it.
I'm gonna roll deception. 15 for me.
Okay. What did you get, Bromir?
Yeah, I'm still trying to fix my camera so that we can actually see what the heck it was. And sorry, what kind of roll was that?
Deception.
So 15 total.
Okay. What did you get again?
15.
You got all. Okay. We all got 15, so that's interesting.
To roll it again? Does that
Yeah,
happen?
everyone
So
just roll it
like
again.
one
Yeah,
shot?
everyone just roll again. I'm gonna say who has the highest wisdom modifier, but
Oh god.
nah, we'll all roll again.
I mean, wisdom, not
Okay.
good for me. Charisma, yeah, I'm good at that.
Oh, it'd be charisma, yeah, but
Well,
so
that
is he.
one's-
But we'll roll
That
again.
one's, that one was a re-roll on a nat 20 for 25 for me, so...
Nice. Okay. Okay. You did beat him. He rolled pretty good, but you did beat him. So what did you get, Bromir?
7.
Oh, okay. That does change things a little bit. So Bromir is kind of feeding this story, and you jump in, Aquis, and you like give him a little bit extra detail. Like we just couldn't get out of there. Kibo looks over to Aquis and is like, feel like there's something else. Maybe the crystal is lost, and that is unfortunate. I would have loved to see it and find out why the military was so obsessed with finding this thing. But what aren't you telling me?
Told you
Since
everything.
we didn't tell him everything. Soon as we're going to be exchanging information in the future, it's in my best interest to make sure we're being truthful with you. This place was some sort of cult. I can't tell you what. Something about two gods converging. I suppose we left that out. I don't know why we left that out.
What gods?
Yeah.
There was it Bane and something? I don't know.
Merkel.
Mercule?
Yep.
Okay, you can either roll me a deception or a persuasion check here. Your choice.
That's gonna be a deception.
Because he saw Bromir was kind of lying a little bit, but then you convinced him, so this is kind of like putting the cherry on the top of the story, essentially.
Yeah, that's really bad. 11.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't roll anything. I'm nothing there. There were no sixes rolled. No ones with 5 modifiers.
His polite demeanor seems to shift into like more of a intense, piercing gaze, and holds on you, like you both specifically for a second, and then he goes back and is like, "Well, okay, all right." So you got nothing out of this underground lost temple at all. That's unfortunate.
Well, I wouldn't say nothing. I mean, we were looking around and don't think it's of much interest. And I'll shuffle around in my bag and I'll pull out the 2 rings with the skull and the hand on it. So
He holds out his giant tiger palm to look at them.
put 1 of each. I mean, I've only pulled out 2, so that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm putting it.
Do you know anything about these gods?
I know of them. You don't see a lot of evil worshippers around. Well, at least I don't. Kind of gestures to give him you back and gives them you back. I don't need any gold. All right.
Listen,
There might be something you're not telling me, but I don't think it's a big element of the story. I know what
Listen,
you
the most
guys are like. Some sticky fingers, maybe. You want to hold on to something. Sure.
Okay, you called us out.
most importantly, your question was if the military had gotten to whatever they were looking down there, and the answer is no, they had not. And the whole place is now gone. In fact, it is so gone that everyone in the region has heard about it, if not felt it.
True.
So that problem is technically solved.
I
Well-
just hope they don't try to excavate out that mountain.
And he
Well-
points towards you, Rune, and goes, ding, ding, ding. Let's hope. Let's hope it's not worth the hassle for them. Especially with
there are
the
threats
wall.
down there that should never be brought to the surface.
Did we mention
That's all
those?
I'll say. Yeah,
What's that?
Did.
the demons that chased us into the temple.
Yeah.
Or
Bromia said it was-
whatever was hiding in the shadows, there were swarms of them. And I fear that if people start digging down into the collapsed mountain, that they'll find a hole and those creatures will escape.
Maybe they got
Honestly.
crushed.
Maybe they did,
You
but it will
can
still.
you can hope that as much as you want. I don't believe it.
Well,
Regardless, it will take them forever to excavate the mess that cave-in caused.
yeah, but if they
hope so.
choose to do so, then, they're going to occupy the town for longer. But hopefully, with the wall looming over them, well, we think there's going to be a war. Maybe they'll pull it back to more pressing matters. We'll see. Time will only tell. All right. Well, if that's everything, then you've gained my trust for now. You're free to come in and leave this place. I will have a couple of people follow you while you're in town, like I do with all new people, just to make sure you're not going to Knight Commander Lyros and, the thieves are over here, blah, blah, blah. You've gained my
We have no
trust for
interest
now.
in doing so.
And
Yeah, she's looking for you.
it looks over to you. Oh, is
Oh,
she?
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
She doesn't know
suspected
where
as
you're at,
such.
but she is looking for you.
It's kind of like a cat and mouse thing we have with each other. It's a little bit of a game, and he makes a joke because it's a fucking tiger.
You're the mouse.
Oh, wait, she's absolutely the mouse. He looks to you, Aqua's like, I'm still looking into what you asked me.
Thank you.
It's quite hard to get information to and from Eurasia. But I do have some contacts in there, so hopefully in a week or two I might hear back. If not, I do have other methods of contacting you if you're not in the town. There's a couple of people in my employee that are magical, tuned in nature, and we can send you a message. Albeit it might be a little bit abrupt. But yeah, feel free to pop by in a couple of weeks and I might have some information for you. If not, I'll just message it to you.
Just let me know if there's anything I can do to help with that. Anything.
Not really. It's just asking sources. But you're free to enjoy the bar. Don't cause me any trouble. And I'll instruct someone to give you the rest of your payment on the way out.
Drinks on you?
You're already getting paid for doing a job. Don't push it. Although, the more you want to drink in here, the more money you pay back from your job. So it works out for me.
We'll drink somewhere else then.
Raises the glass to you.
The hell's pretty good here.
The rum is awful.
Well, you didn't.
Get that checked out.
He looks.
Nothing
He
better
looks
than
in your
full
glass or in your tank, and he's like, "You didn't ask for the top shelf stuff, love."
No, it's what you're paying us. No, okay. Not saying it. Not even going into that.
So yeah, you're free to leave unless there's anything you want to ask him further. It seems your deception has paid off, although he's not fully buying into your story. You gain the sense that the main elements he seems to have kind of bought onto at least. And he probably just thinks you've kept some treasure or something for yourselves. Yeah, what are you wanting to do? The day is yours. Probably about 1 p.m. in the afternoon, but it's hard to tell because there's no windows in here. It's just concrete stone wall.
You know, we still don't have a name for ourselves.
Mountain movers.
I mean, we could.
I hate it.
Listen, I come from a very mountainous area, and it's a bit too pointy to one thing.
Yeah, a little too much on the nose.
Do we need a name?
Do you want to grab a table or?
More and more
Yeah.
people are going to be asking for a group name. We need to come up with a group name at some point,
Yeah,
even
so
if it's temporary.
You go upstairs and the table that you sat at previously, the bench over here is free. It's not moving you guys all over. It's kind of quiet knit corner.
I grabbed 2 more mugs all the way up.
I don't know where I'm going. Lol.
Just mark off a couple of more silvers.
Is it over here?
Yeah, over here. There you go.
Think of it like this: we're
No.
we're like a tribe.
Crying's drunk.
Tribe, if you will.
Sorry, go on, Aquas.
We're like a nomadic tribe, if you will. We don't really have a home. And it'll make me feel at ease to know that I've got something.
All right.
Can literally be called the possum pushers if you really want to.
The murder hobos.
No.
No.
Try and have murder hobos. It's too of a common theme in D&D. It makes me laugh every time I say it. If you think about it, every D&D group are murder hobos. They don't have a home. They go around murdering everything. Murder hobos. But
I
anyway,
think, where is everyone from? Where's everyone's home?
Velia's like, doesn't answer and just drinks her wine a little bit more looking down.
Because we have a map, right? We can just
You do have a
pick
map?
somewhere in the middle of all of our homes.
Yeah,
Maybe there's that.
I'm from Neroth on the eastern border.
Mirosa.
I'm from Mescana.
I gotta find where the map is.
You guys
we
pick up that Escana is not local. You know it, you've heard of it. It's quite distant.
Yeah.
So we have 2
Quite
people
far
from,
away.
well, technically 3 people from a place that begins with E. What about the others? We know you're from some elven place, and you don't really want to talk about that. So there's another E for
Given
E's.
the current environment, not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't know who's over listening. Nobody just carries on drinking. I'll tell you all when the time's right.
We'll share more tales by the campfire, I'm sure.
Rune, where were you from again?
From Neroth.
Neroth?
Yeah, it's a fortification on the eastern border.
Trying
You
to
know-
think of a pun.
You've probably heard of the city, because it's kind of a dwarven gnomish stronghold that's in Tristram, and it's like the city closest to the border that you guys came through.
I was gonna say we're 5 E's in a pod, but you're from somewhere else. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we could sleep on it. I'm sure we'll come up with something over the
Sleep on
next few days. Personally, I wanna cash out some of the things that we've got. Got things in my backpack here I don't necessarily need. A sword, some rings, necklace.
We need to identify some things.
Yeah, we don't have to get
Yeah,
rid of
we
all
do.
of it, but I don't need 6 of these.
We should probably find out what they are before we start circulating them, and what they belong to. We need to find someone in this town or the next town who has any arcane knowledge or magical
Really?
history knowledge.
He was like, I can cast a spell that tells me what items are. You've watched her do it a couple of times already now. Last time being in this tavern, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Can't remember what you were identifying. I think it might have been the jug, and other bits from the auras out
Yeah, I
there.
told her I didn't want to do the jug.
Yeah, she did a few other bits, I think, from there though. But she can at least glean if they're magical and kind of what they are with the right amount of time.
I'm thinking more of along the lines of like histories and lore,
Yeah, so
which none of us know.
yeah.
Hey DM, throw us an NPC.
Go find one. There's a whole world out there. Yeah, a drunken guy dressed in robes approaches your table. He's like, "Hey, need a mage?" That doesn't happen.
Well done. So yeah, that's my vote. We find someone who knows something else that isn't an identifying spell, essentially. Because we have no idea about any of the religions that we keep coming across on the list and growing longer. At least someone
well,
who.
we were gonna look into these 2 gods more, right? So we perhaps
Need to find
Need
a
to find,
library somewhere.
some
Yeah.
books in town.
Yeah. Is there a bookstore? Or not a bookstore, but like, is there a library that we can peruse?
You'll
Yeah,
have
walk
to.
in.
Nice.
Vacation at
You'll
the
have to
library.
ask. You'll have to ask around. You've not seen one yet. But you know that there is a temple district. Although you know that they probably don't worship gods of death.
Oh yeah.
So asking about them might be a little bit. You don't know. It could go one way that they have knowledge on it, but you could raise some eyebrows, like, "Why are you asking about death religions?" Or it could
For
also.
my college paper.
Yes.
Jeez.
I also wanted to quickly ask, are you all okay just to push on for another 30, 45 minutes without a break? Since we've kind of been super into the RP and I forgot to call a break today. So we'll probably wrap up in about 45 minutes or so, if that's okay with
I'm
everyone.
gonna take a break to go pee, but
Yeah, if you
we
need to
can
go pee
continue.
and stuff, yeah, go for it. That's fine.
Boromir puts down his ale and gets up from the table.
There we go.
I'm gonna go back and ask Kaibo, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
if-
Kibo.
Yeah, Kibo. Flop.
He's now sat on his chair outside of here. So he sees you approaching. He's like, ah. The toothy grin smiles up and he's like,
Jeez.
you're my favorite of the group, you know. What can I do for you?
Just wondering if you have any idea. I'm just going to be upfront with him. If you know anyone, you don't seem like the religious type yourself. However, if you know anyone who could tell us a bit more about these gods we've encountered in our travels.
Interesting.
We keep coming across ancient runes and deities, and quite frankly, none of us know much about it.
The main library is in the nobility district. You need more formal papers to enter it. It's not a public open library. It's for students and scholars coming from different lands. And they lean
to
it.
themselves.
Pretty much, yeah. You need to have some sort of credentials, or at least some sort of reason good enough that they would allow your entry. A pass of sorts, I suppose, which unfortunately may be able to get you, or something given a little bit of time and some gold. I could potentially speak to a couple of people that might be able to forge you some documents. Although your best bet, because the library here is not super extensive, to my understanding, your best bet would be going to the capital. They have a range of libraries. They have the arcane, they have the historical, they have nature. It's the capital city. They have everything there, so.
I'm familiar with it. All right. Okay. Thank you. That's helpful. We'll start small.
No worries.
Just out of interest, actually, how much would it cost me to get some papers?
For you or for your group?
For myself.
Just for you? Papers to get to the library, or different kind of papers?
Any identification.
Any identification? I mean, it depends. Just general
Nobility.
purpose?
Nobility or any higher class.
Well, nobility papers are going to run you obviously a little bit more. They're generally more reviewed by guards and more well known by guards. So I'd say 500 gold. If you want them done by a professional. If you want something that is a bit thrown together, probably like 350, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. Well, what about just false identification of a merchant or
Just to be anyone?
something a little bit? Yeah.
From my guy, my professional guy, 250.
Any leeway on the prices with your guy?
Roll me a persuasion check.
What the hell?
What did you get?
7.
Damn, the rolls. 249.99. Any crits?
Got ya.
It's expensive, you know. When you're creating an identity, you have to, one that's a good identity from the professional, you have to sow roots, believable traits, believable aspects. You know, especially if you're nobility, people have to have heard of you. It takes moving a lot of pieces around. A common person, not so much, but you still have to register with the town hall, for instance, and things like that to make it official. And, you know, depending on where you want your birthdays to be, there's different aspects of that. So that's where the coin comes in.
Well, thank you for the information.
No worries, anytime. Waves you off.
Goes, picks up another rum at the bar.
Are you getting a better rum or a cheap rum?
Better rum.
Yeah, it'll run you a gold, but it's the top shelf rum, and it's fucking good. It comes in a nice like cork bottle. It's got like the bottle actually has some like gold filigree on it. Really good.
Let's do it. Might die tomorrow.
After a few moments, Karaya returns to the table. Probably after about 10 minutes or so. Is there anything else you're wanting to discuss?
Ramir, it's your turn. I pull out the jug.
Oh dear.
Roll a
Can't say
d10.
no. Yeah, pop a cork here.
I need to write all
My
these down
camera
rather
stopped
than
resetting. I don't know what's up. Ooh, a 10.
a 10. There you go. You pour it out, and it is red in color. It smells. You give it a little
this
sniff.
again?
It smells like plum.
It's blood.
It's juice.
You take a
juice.
You take a sip.
Yeah, heck yeah, of course.
Roll me a d100.
Oh dear. Every good decision starts with that.
Okay, hold on one sec. Let me fix this so that I can actually see what the 100 is. Okay, D100, sure. 90 and 10, so 100. I think. No.
Wait, what? 90 and 10. No,
So,
it's
what is this?
B,
How does
that's-
this work?
so
Bet a 90. Oh,
Wait, so-
90. 90.
He's 90, yeah.
It counts as a 0?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it is the best red wine you have ever fucking tasted. It is. You smell plums, like cherries, like it's like aged perfectly. Like it's strong, but also not harsh. It's fucking delicious.
Awesome.
How come you get all the good ones? You've had beer, you've had wine. What was the other one you've had?
He had honey.
Meanwhile,
I
get stuck
enjoyed
with
the
salt
vinegar,
water
too.
and
I
the
don't know,
vinegar.
It was still good with the rat.
I think this thing's rigged. I think it's showing favorability here.
It's got runes of anti-rune on it.
Obviously, clearly, I look at the bottom.
Wasted on him.
Seriously.
Probably gonna drink a lot of this. Just FYI.
Well, it's quite
Stick to my
full.
ale.
You have a gallon of wine.
Jeez.
It's heavy.
I think he can
Like
manage.
you're holding the bottle, and it was suddenly. Actually, it gets lighter because it was previously vinegar, and it was 2 gallons. So he suddenly gets half the amount of thingy. You're like, wait, I didn't pour anything out, but it's suddenly half as heavy, and it's still a gallon of wine.
I roll over an empty tankard to him. It's like, here you go.
Fill it up.
It's 4.5 liters apparently, so I didn't know how much it was. So it's a lot of wine.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. So I'm probably going to be irresponsible tonight and drink more of this than I probably should. So
Yeah. Do you want to grab a room?
Do they have rooms here? Like actual
Yeah.
rooms, not just bunkers?
Oh, I think you stayed in one before. There's no windows, but they have pretty decent
Yeah.
beds in and stuff like that. You've seen them as you walked in here.
Yeah.
Like some of the doors are ajar and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like
we should
simple
probably
tavern
crash for
rooms.
the night.
Fuck for doors that are doors, but
Yeah.
yeah. Here.
So you start drinking from 1 p.m. Goes to 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m.
Hey, what's our next
5.
job? Yeah, after 4 hours of drinking, I bring up, what's our next job? What's the next thing?
If you've
Yeah,
all been
well,
drinking
maybe-
throughout this bit, you are all very pretty much drunk. If you've all been drinking this wine, If you've been taking it
I've
steady.
not.
Okay.
If anyone's sober or ish, you should speak up now or forever hold your peace.
I mean, I've had a little bit, but I'm not hammered.
Yeah, I'm gone. You better save my
I'm
life.
toast. Yeah.
So, next job. I don't know. We've been making good gold so far. And I pull out a pouch of gold and I just give it a bit of a shake.
Jingle.
Yeah. We're
Okay.
doing all right.
That's
Little
a bad idea. Put that away now.
You do look. I would say Aquis and Velia. 'Cause they've got high passive perceptions and they're not fucked. Mate, Karai, have you been drinking?
I have.
Yeah.
But not as much as him. I think the cat is knocking on my door.
So I'd say Aquis and Velia, you look around saying that, and there's a couple of people like opposite the balcony on the other table that have just heard the jingle and like glanced eyes and then gone back to their conversations. From here, you're none the wiser. You're just
Yeah. Oh, relax, Akis. Live a little. Fine. Put the pouch back in my bag.
Polite cat. Polite cat alert.
a cat jumps onto your table. You're like, how did a cat get in here? starts drinking a little bit of the wine.
Yeah.
He's like just crawled onto the table.
Grabs a piece of food that you've had on there and just runs off.
For next job, I mean, we can see if these guys here need anything. I mean, we had talked about building trust and then perhaps getting some work. So
Yeah.
that might be an idea.
Well, secondly, did we tell Lyris that we are going to be back, or did she need anything from us?
We
Yeah.
told her we'd give her info if we found any.
Okay.
She asked
We
you
found
to.
nothing.
Yeah, she asked you to investigate the thieves guild that you're currently sat in.
We found nothing. Glug, glug, glug.
Yeah. No. Nothing.
To nothing.
To nothing. Cheers.
Cheers. Good
Group
old
name?
life of nothing.
Nothing.
That's our new group name, is the Nothings.
The nothing.
Nothing. Better than murder hobos.
Yeah.
Nothing will be murder hobos.
Considerably bad.
Sacrilege.
Nothing will beat murder hobos. I think, yeah, do we have any loose ends around here except for the moss that was purple?
Yeah, the purple moss.
I think, yeah. Well, it's you guys. As OOC, you investigated the moss. You've done this. Like, the next steps are pretty much what are kind of in front of you. You've had a couple of visions, the crystal. It's like, what you're gonna do now. You turn to Kibo or turn to Lyros or go your own path is kind of what you're all kind of thinking subconsciously. But again,
Yeah.
it's D&D. It's an open world. You can just pick a direction or get on a ship and go wherever you want to go.
I'm sure they would be grateful if we hunted some more pirates. Right,
I'm
Ryan?
more inclined to look for
Maybe.
Got any more leads on those?
Pirates.
You know
Like
anything?
those
Don't
guys.
Yeah.
What do we
Seemed
want
like
with
this-
pirates?
I mean,
I've pissed
that
off
seems
every
like a quick
pirate I've ever
reward.
met.
That
No,
seems like a
I've
quick reward. We just burned down the ship,
no,
like we did before.
never
So
again.
something you might want to think about is maybe some of these pirates are smuggling stuff for Kaibo.
Yeah.
Maybe get with the pirates isn't a good idea.
Possibly.
Yeah, let's not talk about those. Maybe not here. No, because the pirates that we didn't like and had a fight with were smuggling people, and Kaibo likes people.
Children.
True.
Also people.
Good observation.
They are.
Sometimes.
Sometimes they are ascending to be people.
Ascending into peoplehood.
They are not people yet.
For those that have them, they are
Still
not
in
people
the
yet.
larva stage.
That is good observation. I mean, we can, yeah, we can ask Kaibo if he has any more things for us to do. I'd be okay with that personally.
But we still, I mean, have
Well,
to
the
get
military's
paid
taking
and
care
clear
of
out
the
of here and
boss
get our
thing.
things still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still gotta get paid.
You said your gold would be ready with your equipment, essentially, at the door.
Yeah.
Maybe we gather our equipment and find somewhere to stay for the night. Come back tomorrow, see if he's got any work.
I stumble over to the barkeep and ask about a room for the night.
Just a gold. Got several beds in there. And chuck him a gold.
I
Yeah.
can sleep on the.
I'm too
Nonsense.
drunk to
There's a
really count,
perfectly good
so,
bed
like,
right there.
I just like reach in my bag and I throw some stuff down on the counter.
Okay.
Is that
How much have you got? How much have you got in your bag?
I've got 116 gold pieces.
You put 16 gold on the counter, and he's like, "Yes." Gives you a key and then a bottle of rum. Like, you don't know if it's good rum, but he gets it from the bottom shelves. Gives you a bottle of rum. He's like, "Good stuff." Like a full bottle with a cork in the top.
All right. Yeah. No,
You just
guys!
instantly see the rum, and you're like, amazing.
Yeah.
And he's just like putting that in his pocket, like.
Even in her drunken stupor, is just like.
Yeah, I'd say at this point it's probably 9-ish p.m. You've probably been drinking for about 7 hours.
Jesus.
Some harder than
That'll do it.
others.
Yeah.
Um,
That'll do it.
You're feeling pretty tired already, and the tavern environment's just starting to build up. You know, more people coming back from whatever they've been doing, out and out, pickpocketing, whatever. Like, tavern's getting louder, but you're all kind of sloshed.
Have there been any fights in the fight pit?
Not
was gonna
tonight.
ask.
Not tonight, no. Although it's still kind of an early night, so you don't know if that's more of an evening thing or what. Or you don't even know if it's used rarely or if it's a special occasion kind of thing. Obviously, Bromir fought in there, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly,
Yeah.
because it was a couple of months ago. Was it
Yeah.
the female
Some
dwarf?
old dude kicked my butt.
Was it the female dwarf? Oh, no, it was the old dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see the old dude, he's actually sat up like on another table there. So he glances eyes and raises a tankard to you and just goes back to drinking. He's the regular patron. But yes, you have a room, you have 16 less gold, and you have a full another bottle of rum at least. Whatever you want to do.
The urge to cause chaos is
I'm gonna have to have a rum and
brewing.
coke after this, to be honest. In real life.
I miss my drinking days so much.
Just one nice one before bed.
Yeah, I can't even have one. It's depressing.
Aww. I'll have one for you.
Same.
Thank you.
Have one for me and all.
I'm. Not really. No.
Are you guys wanting to push on for more drinks, or are you going to bed at 9 because you're sozzled?
I'm gonna move over to this table over here, and I'm just gonna keep a watch and wait for a fight to brew up.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and wander around the streets.
The streets.
The streets.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go out.
Okay.
Check
go
out
to
the town.
You go to the you go to the front door, and Bert the ogre's like points to your weapon bundle on the floor. Do you pick up your weapons?
Yeah.
And then the guy that brought you in here.
No, actually, I'll just pick up the dagger.
Okay. The guy that
Just
the guy that brought you down here is like, yo, do you want your money? Are you all leaving? Are you all?
No, I'll be back. I'm just going for a walk.
Okay, but do you want me to show you the way?
I'm gonna
Yes.
just follow them because this is gonna end fucking awfully and I can see it happen.
D&D.
I'm just gonna follow them.
Well, he clocks you and he's like, you want to come too, or
I'm
you're
not-
trying to be
I'm-
stealthy?
I'm being stealthy. I'm not making it obvious. I'm just
There's
Gonna keep
one
an
way
eye.
out of here, which is these big double doors.
By the way, like I don't care if somebody joins me. I'm like I want to go and see the town, experience the sticks and its finery
Okay.
at night.
Bromir, what are you doing? Are you staying here and just drinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Rude.
Okay. Vila will be like,
Yeah,
I'll
Billy-
make
yeah.
sure she's okay. She's not been drinking too much. But yeah, Vila will go with Karaya. So the two dwarves are together, and Vila, Karaya, and
Oh, yeah,
Akris.
this is now going to end badly.
If you're not going to bed though, I'll need you both to do a Constitution saving throw, just because
hell yeah.
you have both been heavily drinking. Karaya
Of course.
also, if you're still drinking, do a Constitution saving throw. Akris, do you pick your stuff up at the door?
Oh yeah,
I pick all of my stuff.
21.
Do you get the gold as well?
What's on the town?
I grab my gold. I grab my weapons. I'm not leaving my rapier here.
Yeah, so it's essentially the payment for the job you guys have done. So he's asking if you want to pick it up now. Now, me
I'll
being
pick
an
up
idiot DM didn't write down. I think he said 500 gold split between the group for doing this. Can anyone actually recall and be honest? Because I can't fully remember and I didn't write it down.
Honestly, I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think there was
I
enough
can't
discussion, to
remember.
be honest.
We can go back and look at the VODs.
He
and then
paid you
figure it out for
half
next
of it
session.
as kind of like a thingy, but yeah, I'll go back and look on the thing and then write in the channel how much how much they owe you. DM owes you some gold, but we'll figure it out.
So my con saving throw
Yep.
was a 19,
Ooh.
and my Constitution is +5. So
You are
this is just
you are more than fine. This wine has got you merry and giddy, and you're not tired. You just smashing them back. Rune, what did you get?
I got a 19.
Damn, the dwarves! Who would have thought? just smashing them back. Okay, you get to the double doors, and Bert opens them for you because they're quite heavy, probably like 15 foot tall, like iron bars across them, like wooden, like proper solid oak. As the doors open, because you've always had a burlap sack on your head for this bit, there's no light. It's just a dark circle, and you see a ladder that goes down, and you realize you've climbed the ladder before. So the guy that's guided you in here numerous times, you climb down the ladder. Karaya very haphazardly missing a couple of steps and slipping every now.
Hey, my constitution
Okay.
throw was 21.
Okay, you're still very drunk climbing a ladder, but yeah.
I'm
you're
having
still
fun doing it.
You're still fine, yeah. You kind of hide it. It's like just you that notice you slip a little. You're like, oh, maybe you know where the fresh air hits you when you get out of a pub you've been in for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're essentially led through an underground tunnel that has numerous different access ways. Some of it connects to sewers, but this is kind of like a carved out tunnel, like man carved out. And it's about 30 minutes until you get to the front tavern, and which goes up to another ladder and things like that. And now you get the kind of sense that, wait a second, this tavern that is called the Sleepy Hollow is built into the walls of the city. It's essentially built in there, and they've tunneled under and in, and that's how they've remained undetected for so long. They're literally, that's why there's no windows. It's literally the castle walls. So you go out and you get to the same front, and he's like, We're here all the time. Knock 3 times. We'll come to the door. We'll see you soon. And you are let out into the sticks. And we'll come back to that in a second. Quickly, what's your goal, Bromir and Rune? Just for the evening? Just so I know. Probably going to be wrapping up.
I had no goal. I was just
drinking.
getting
Okay.
drunk and then passing out.
Keep people watching and picking up rumors.
Okay.
See if I can pick up on any conversations that are going on.
Roll me a perception check.
I mean, we're on a balcony.
Yeah. There's people walking past and going to their rooms and chit chatting.
Perception check?
Yep. Actually, rolling me at disadvantage because you are very drunk.
Well,
What did you get?
my first roll was a 6.
6
My
plus.
second roll was a 23.
Oh. Yeah. You're too invested in the drinking. You're sharing some stories with Bromir. You'd pick up a little bit more chatter about the war that's looming over, and this seems to be the general vibe is that war is good for business for these people. It means more gold, more kind of jobs, easier smuggling routes you're clean to pick up on, but it's kind of that general chit chatter around you. Okay, just quickly, Karaya, what is your goal? What are you doing this evening? As Aquis and Vili are in tow, just looking like, okay, this is interesting. Where are we going?
Just to vibe check the city, see if there's anything interesting going on, if there's any kind of...
Are you
It's the
just
same thing, really.
walking around the
Rumors-
sticks, or are you going into... Which part of the city are you going
I-
into? I can load the map up. Quick.
Where's... Yeah, if you could...
How many guards are you gonna run into?
We'll see.
So, you emerge around here.
Uh-huh.
The tavern is in this pit of the wall here.
Uh-huh.
So you emerge around here, and you're literally in the sticks, which is this entire area. So it's...
Yeah.
I'll just draw a line of representation. Around here. So
Is this where the well is?
the well there at the
Was.
Bumpy Mole, yeah. So
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
grab
yeah.
your token just for representation. You can let me know where you want to go and what you want to do when you get to the place.
I'll call it. I think I'll kind of wander down towards the mall and.
Okay.
Just keeping like I'm gonna keep perception up and just like check out what's happening, what people are talking about.
Give me a perception check. And on face value, as you're walking through this part of the sticks, you notice that the atmosphere has changed than in the day. Like the day, there's a lot of beggars and ruffians bumping around, and kind of like just poor people doing their daily jobs and businesses. Where the night is kind of moved into this like the city never sleeps vibe. Like there's still beggars and ruffians about, but it's much more like brighter on the street corners. You see like more elements of like night markets where people are not selling with too much good stuff, but like people are selling what they can, like trinkets that they've carved, and it's kind of like this nice rural feel that is like everyone's here as a community. It doesn't matter where you come from, and but you do see the occasional dark side of it where someone bumps into someone and then gets into a fight and dragged off somewhere, and you're like, ooh, that's rough. As you transition into the nicer district, though, that the Bumpy Mole's like kind of on the edge to, that kind of falls away a little bit, and you start seeing like normal built houses, and the streets are still kind of busy, but not too busy. As you get closer to the tavern, as you get closer to the tavern, you see more vibrant nightlife around it. As you probably get into the latter end of the night at this point, probably around 11, 12, where a lot of the people have had their fill of drink and they're stumbling home drunk, or are going for a late one and going to the next place. What did you get for your perception check, and what are you looking for specifically, like rumors or what?
6. Doesn't
The
matter what I'm
sixes.
looking for.
Roll.
It doesn't matter what I'm looking for. It's a 6.
You-
I was just looking for rumors and like easy targets and talk from the military.
From the military specifically, you don't bump into a lot of guards.
The military.
Of the
Of
military.
the military. If I bump into a guard, I'll do an roll, because that's a different one.
Unfortunately, you don't really bump into any guards. You do hear a couple of passers-by talking about the war and how, especially as you get into the middle district, it's like, oh, my nephew's from an older woman. My nephew's in the military. I hope he's okay. And more a concerned vibe about the brewing war and things like that. And then another set of people are talking about like kind of the similar stuff that Rune picked up on, which is like, the war makes it so much easier and that kind of feel. But you don't really glean too much with that role, unfortunately. But it seems to be different levels of concern as kind of naturally people would have, you know, the uncertainty of not knowing what's going on, especially if they've got direct people in there, or the more nefarious types that will seize an opportunity in these types. But that being said,
There's the cat is just like poking out from behind my chair with glowing eyes, just like.
Aquis, is there anything you want to do while following Karaya for the rest of the evening?
No, I'm just keeping a general lookout, making sure no one's getting any other wrong ideas.
Do you go for drinks anywhere, Karaya, or do you just slowly find your way back to the... Oh, look at the cat! Let me out!
It's like, mother, it's just past feeding time.
Yeah, do you just go back to the Sleepy Hollow in the wall with Kibo, or do you where do you find yourself ending up for the evening?
I will pop into is it the Bumpy Mole?
It's the Bumpy Mole, yeah.
What a lovely name. Yeah, and get a drink there,
Okay.
and also gauge the environment. What is?
As you're carrying on drinking, roll me another Constitution saving throw.
Jesus Christ.
Pub crawl.
Literally vote roll, yeah.
Yeah.
Azoria style. Alright, 17.
Damn, yeah. You're feeling a little bit tired. It's getting really late in the evening, but you're holding your liquor. You've not passed out, which is good. You're drunk. You've not passed out, but you're getting kind of tired. It's about a 45-minute walk back to the front tavern, and then another 30-minute walk to the Sleeping Hollow. So you've got another hour and a bit to get back to where your group is, or what are you doing for the evening?
Are there any kind of rich assholes around?
Here, roll me a perception check. It's going to be very hard. It's the Bumpy Mole.
It's on the cusp of the slums.
It's on the cusp, yeah.
No. Why is my perception suffering so much today? It's because I'm drunk.
Because you're drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Unfortunately,
Moving along.
with an 8, you don't really see too many around. Like, if you wanted to go that, you should have gone up to the Well Inn Tavern up here, and then you'll probably run into quite a few nobles or merchants. But here, it just looks like it's filled with ruffians and ragtag people. And then you see across from the bar, especially Aquis, it's the guy you threw the head at, and he just clocks you and he's like, "What is these fucking people doing? Why are they following me everywhere? Why do they keep coming back here?"
I hold up another bag and just smile.
Yeah, he just like slunks off into the crowd. It's a busy bar. It's like literally like, you know, there's no tables or anything. Like, people are stood up and drinking. Like, you know, you're bumping shoulders with people. It's kind of that kind of environment, busy.
All right.
Sadly not you. Just the rolls weren't in your favor. I'm sorry.
I know, it's terrible. There's, just for future references, there's the army bar is here, right?
Yes.
Next to. Yep.
And then there is a bar in the military district, but yeah, this is the port / this is where all the sailors hang out and things like that. Yeah.
And,
That's the one where the kids stole something off the back of your cart.
Yeah, the rations or whatever. This bar right here is Rich Merchant Town, right?
Yeah, it's like a sister bar. It's there and there. It occupies both sides of the promenade, and yeah, they work together. And yeah, it's where all the rich merchants stop and things like that.
All right, time to loop around and head back through the slums.
Yeah. You get in around 3 a.m. Oh, come on.
Actually, around the mainer areas.
Okay. You're kind of clocking the same things. Everything's wrapping down now, but you find your way back to the group, to Bromir and Rune potentially in bed or at the same table passed out. I'll let them figure that out for next time. But we'll wrap up here, I think. That was a good session. Yeah. A lot of role play, a lot of decisions you need to think of now is where you're gonna go, what you're gonna do, and things like that. But amazing, guys. Well done. Good stuff.
That was a good session. Thank you, guys.
No worries.
We split party again and we lived.
If the group can, if I can just borrow you all to stay on camera for the next 5 minutes, you can leave the desk. I just want to reposition the webcams while Tibby's not in the rooms, so we don't have any issues next time. That'd be great. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm just going to run the outro after show, so it'll actually be 10 minutes if that's okay. But you can go do whatever you need to do, and I'll be there. But no, thank you for watching, everyone. Make sure you go check out everyone's Twitches, and yeah, awesome stuff. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.